who ran the graveyard's son was being turned into a vampire, so we killed him. And then the guy hanged himself, which was not good. And then now there's just a bunch of wolves outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, holy ground becoming not so holy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Real slowly.
That too.
Dark things are going gone from the night, and the ground we are staying on is becoming more and more unstable as time passes.
That is very correct. I would like to point out that Donovich's departure from this world was due in no small part to the wonderful emotional support given by Ileena.
Wait, what?
Some great support.
What are you talking about? She just said it fair and square. Hey,
the gods have
son is
totally
a
abandoned
vampire.
us. He's a vampire. Exactly what he needed to hear.
Oh, I remember like handing like the social reins to Ireena, like Hibiki's got this.
Yeah.
Hibiki knows exactly what to say if it comes through, and you just go over and says, "The gods abandoned us." Oh,
It was
fucking
so
God.
great. It was so great.
Please.
You let the wrong character do the talking in this situation.
Mistakes are
Like, of all the characters, Ileena, really.
Yeah, so
Oh,
that's what our party was up to last time. And now, if I may, we'll swing the camera back to the inn to Diana. Now, Diana spent the day last time locked in her room. Obviously, we will go over that. So we arrived at the inn at 8 a.m., shuffled into the inn, found a bunch of very dour, very reserved-looking people that were just not particularly interested in talking to anybody. They were having their morning drinks having some disgusting porridge. There was a man behind the counter named Arik, who was a very quiet man who didn't seem able to speak, or maybe not interested in speaking, only interested in business and cleaning. And the inn, you discovered, was owned by 3 very flamboyantly dressed women who are of a race of people called Vistani, who are plain or gypsies. So,
yeah, not gypsies.
yes.
Not that.
All that information is known to you, Diana, and why don't you describe to us, as the camera pans back and follows you into your room, how do you spend your long rest as everybody else sleeps during the day?
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
You know.
Sat there in quiet contemplation, trying not to draw much attention to herself, listening for if when the tavern gets the quietest, to when she can like start playing and kind of just getting out the stress of the last what was it, the day and a half, I guess.
Yeah, at this point. I think you've been at Barovia about a day and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're more than welcome to do that, and you do your meditative rituals. You can hear some sounds downstairs. There's a bit of music in the morning. Around noon, it begins to slow down, and then around 1, it picks up again. So you're able to get some good communing in there. After about 2 is when it really starts to quiet down, and shortly thereafter, the party knocks on your door. They say, "Hey, we're off to see this handsome blonde man that we met, and bring his dead dad to the cemetery. Would you like to come?"
Yeah, she'll join them.
Oh, okay. I guess I did leave that too
Right.
open-ended.
Oh, sorry. I got confused.
No, I'm
earlier
sorry.
at,
This already happened.
No, we can
No,
go back. It's fine,
I'm doing
it's
a bad
fine.
job. So
No, no, go
they
back now.
asked that, and you let them know that you want to
She'll-
continue meditating.
No. Yeah. She'll still stay there.
Uh,
I thought. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I got confused.
It's okay. I think I wasn't particularly clear there. Anyway, It's after the party leaves that the
I
place
think
really gets quiet.
the question is, how would you like to refuse?
Yeah.
How would I like to refuse? Yeah, she makes up some excuse about being too busy or something. She's feeling a very spiritual connection to Elistray at the moment, even though she might not be feeling anything.
Yeah. That works because in fact you haven't been. The presence of the gods is always a little iffy. Um, I mean, you always know they're there, and they always have your back. Your faith can wane here and there, but they're always there. But it's feeling particularly hard here to really get any sense of where she is, what she's feeling. In a way, you feel alone in a different kind of way. Um, in a way you haven't felt maybe since you came up from the Underdark for the first time. Um, Regardless of all of that, it is finally truly quiet in the inn after the party leaves. We get between the lunch and the dinner rush. The hearth in your room is pumping out smoke, and at this point you've gone maybe a day without sleeping, so as you're doing your prayers you can drift off into your meditative trance state, and in that state a breakthrough finally comes, and you get the feel of soft hair brushing past your face, and you can see in your mind's eye the moon and the image of the dancer dancing across the moon. And at that point you begin to catch visions. They're from the perspective, as you're walking around in these visions, of a young boy. You would guess it's an elf body that you're in, although when you look down at your hands, they're not drow hands, and they're definitely not your hands. They're very pale, with a slight brownish hue to them, and you have black hair draping on either side of your face. And you are wandering around in a community of fellow elves, all of whom have the same pale face and the dark hair, and they seem very worried about something. You're in a hovel with a bunch of kids, other elven kids, all under hundreds, so various silly names are being passed around and various games are being played, but there's a general tenseness to what's going on. And that's when the screams start, and you hear the sound of horse hooves riding up and crying outside of the tent. You have limited control over this body that you find yourself in. What would you like to do?
I don't know really. So I can just hear horse. You said horse hooves and
Yeah.
screaming. Where's
Yeah.
the screaming coming from? Is it someone outside of the little
Yeah.
encampment?
Outside the tent.
Oh, outside the tent. How far? Like how far away? Just the right.
50 feet, maybe?
Okay. I get just. Is there anything to hide behind inside of the tent?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a bunch of bunks that have been set up, as well as crates and carts and chests. The kids in here seem pretty nervous, and they're all sort of hunkered down underneath blankets in various corners, hidden away. Outside, you can hear the sound of sloshing water as feet step through, and you start catching the scent of sickness in the air.
I imagine there aren't any weapons in this tent.
Sadly, no. There are some toys here and there. There's a kid's toy, one of those wooden clappers. There's a ball and a stick. You could try to fashion something real quick.
Yeah, I suppose it.
Oh.
Next, was that?
Yep, no worries. You there?
Oh, was I not pressing the button? Sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
If I could just try and like fashion, maybe like just break the ball and stick to get a pointed end or something?
Sure, absolutely. You can set that up. You do your best to make a little makeshift spear or dagger or what have you, and you can secure yourself somewhere safe. And outside, you can hear again more crying and footsteps, and then all of a sudden, there's light in the tent, and that smell of pervasive sickness hits you in the nostrils again. Um, it's acrid. It burns your nostrils, and it feels like it has that kind of soupy feel in the air, as if you're in a hospital. It just sort of wafts in, and you hear a voice say, um, "Bring the children out here. Bring me the women first." And you are dragged out. Coming in, tromping over you, is a couple of human soldiers. They have a ravens-like crest on their shirts, and they have gleaming chainmail and large swords. They have their swords out, and they begin dragging the children out one at a time, you included.
I imagine a sharp stick doesn't do anything against people in armor, so I'm just like flailing uselessly against their gauntlets or something.
That works. That works. You are dragged outside, and you can see that there are laid out in the center of this encampment. You can see that all of the other adult elves of this village have all sort of been gathered. It's a village of tents, and you and about 12 other children are brought into this circle. And as you look around the circle, you see that a lot of people aren't looking too great. They're very sickly. And you can see that there are a number of dead bodies that have been dragged out of tents as well. And beyond all of them, you can see there's a wide, calm lake that is reflecting the stars up above. And contrary to the Barovia you've seen so far, there are no clouds in the sky. It is completely clear weather up above, and you can see that the moon is looking down on this scenario. There's a full moon watching, and you are brought to your knees, and you see the leader of this army of men is an elf. He has the same coloring as the rest of the elves in this encampment, and he turns and he looks over the rest of you, and he says, "In the name of my master Strahd von Zerevich, I condemn all of you to death for rebellion. None of you shall rise again. Your line ends here, and there will never be another generation of us traitors." And then he makes a command motion, and every woman elf in this circle is slaughtered by a guard standing behind them.
What the fuck?
Now at this point, would the child that you are inhabiting like to do anything? Because this is very upsetting.
I'm like how old? Sorry, like
You would be
Okay.
about 40 or 50, you would guess, based on the size of this child. And you can feel that the child wants to do something. He knows these adults. His mother is in there.
yeah. I suppose the only response I could think of is just to like break down crying, really, or freeze in shock.
All right.
So they're gonna cry, let it out.
That works. You are the only one making sound. The other children are completely silent. And this man, this tall, elven man, turns to you and he smiles. And he says, "Little one, why do you weep? Death comes to us all. Here it is in service for a greater good. for the good of an empire that will never see an end. He approaches and he is going to kneel down in front of the child you inhabit and look you in the eyes, and he says, "Now I am going to give you a mark you will never forget. You will carry it with you to the end of your days, and you will remember that duty is the greatest pleasure of all." And then he pulls out a dagger and cuts off the child's ears. And you are suddenly back in your room,
What the fuck?
awake.
Okay. Diana will just say, is that, do you want me to find this child?
You get a strong sense of disgust. There are no words, it's more a sense of emotion. You get a strong sense of disgust and disdain for this man that you saw in your vision. And that's all you can really draw from Illustrate at this point.
Okay. I think at that point, Diana will be finished. I'm trying to put this into, like, something that makes sense. I suppose now that she's finished, she's sorted through our emotions, probably had a bit of a cry about it. Not to use like sort of casual language for what's happened, but and after seeing that, she realizes that she's maybe leaving her friends to go off alone isn't the best idea, so she's going to try and look for them.
For sure. So you are able to leave your room.
She's
Inn.
had her moments alone, and now she wants to get back.
Yeah. So the inn, as you leave, is bustling with dinner activity. There is a surprising amount of talking going on, as far as you've heard, been able to hear so far. They're talking about someone called the Lesser and the Devil's Bride. They got some help, and they were seen traveling through the city or the village. They said that there's a pack of wolves that followed them.
Okay. Do I know where they went?
All you know is that they went to see this new friend Ismark, and his the manor that they were going to was somewhere on the south end of town. As you're passing through, they also mentioned that the newcomers went with the Kolyana siblings.
Wait. Let's say that again. Ikayanovich?
Kolyana is the last name.
Oh, okay. Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting confused here.
That's okay. I'm a little off my game because I worked overtime again last night. So
Oh no!
I have
Why
about
they
45
forcing you-
minutes of sleep. So I'm sorry
Jeez.
if I am confusing. I'm doing my best.
You can't cancel sessions if you are sleepy, my dude.
I didn't find out about this one until Thursday afternoon, so I didn't want to
Right.
cancel that late.
I see it. The Indovich Manor, right?
Yes. So your friends told you that they were going to Indirvich Manor to help out their new acquaintance Ismark, and then you're overhearing in the tavern there are talks about the Kolyanovich siblings, the Lesser, and the Devil's Bride is what they call them. They were seen carrying a coffin through the streets with the newcomers headed for the cemetery.
Okay, and oh, have I? And are the newcomers just the party, like us?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I'll go to the inn. I don't get any sense of which these happened first, so I'll go to the Indovich Manor.
Sure.
If I can see that, get directions, whatever.
Sure.
Track them.
Redmond was able to give you some rough directions. So as you head out of the inn, some eyes follow you, and they whisper that the other stranger has emerged. The other stranger has emerged. But you're able to leave uncontested. Across the street from the inn, you see Bildras Mercantile General Store is still lit up, and you can see smoke billowing out of the chimney up above. The instructions you were given were to head to the town square and then head straight south from the Standing Stone. So you do so. You enter the square, and in the center of the square is a large standing stone with depictions of many different constellations on it, some of which you can recognize from that vision that you saw. So that vision definitely happened in this area. But yeah, you can turn left from there and head south. You pass down a very long street. You hear some gentle, quiet weeping, as if somebody's been crying for days at this point as you're headed down the street. But up ahead is a large manor behind broken gates.
Okay, from here, does it look like there's anyone in the manor?
No, it does not look like there's anyone in the manor.
Okay, can I go up and look? Are there any, like, tracks leading off anywhere?
Yeah, so you can see that this manor it's been through hell. Every bit of glass in this manor has been broken and shattered. There are many spots on the walls that have soot left over from where it was attempted to be burned down. And there are the tramplings of hundreds of different feet. You can recognize, as a ranger, you have an intuitive sense of footprints. You can see some of these tracks are human. Some of them are humanish, like rotting corpse feet. Some of them are wolf tracks. Some of them are very large wolf tracks. And some of them are, you would instantly recognize as spider tracks as well. But the recent ones, there's a set of footprints of about 7 people, 2 of which are carrying a heavy load that came down the cobble pathway and then headed straight back the way you came.
Okay, So did I hear that they were going to the cemetery? Was that the other one?
Yes, that was the other one you heard.
Yeah. I'll go to the cemetery. I wasn't sure whether they had said they were going to the cemetery or whether they just said they were going.
They did not tell you that one.
Oh, they didn't tell me that.
They did not tell you that one. So.
Okay. I guess I'll just follow the tracks then.
Perfect. You're able to follow the tracks, and you quickly become aware of eyes on you as you catch sight of wolves watching you from between houses. Their eyes catch the setting sun as they watch you. And as you approach the edge of town, you can see that there's a exhausted-looking church here. It's sagging under the weight of water and just oppression, essentially. This church is at the base of a 300-foot cliff that goes almost completely vertically up, and the top of this cliff is the silhouette of a castle that is set against the dull light of the overcast sky, and this castle looks directly down over this church. And you can see sitting on the roof of this church is Rory. Were you up on the roof as well at the end of last session, Riley?
No, I was just, like, standing by the door watching the wolves.
Yeah, so you can see that Volk is standing at the outside of these church doors. Rory is sitting on the roof, staring down these wolves and muttering curses at them in Infernal. And then surrounding the church is just about 24 very large wolves that are silently staring at the people in here. And you saw maybe 6 were watching you on the pathway over here.
Okay, are the wolves in my way for getting into the church?
They would be in the way, yes.
I'm not really sure what to do then. Are they? They just can't enter at all? Like, are they
Yeah,
just?
it looks like they're not willing to step foot onto the church ground proper. Um, at the same time, they are weirdly well behaved for wolves. They're standing oddly still, and they just turn their heads and glare at you as you approach.
That's creepy.
That's kind of scary. They're just. So I can tell that there's something making them stand still, like, because otherwise they'd be attacking me right now, I think.
That would seem to be the case. There is an anger to the way that they look at you that doesn't quite match the way they're behaving.
Yeah. I'll try, like, sprinting around maybe like the back of the church, if I can get in that way.
Sure. Are you able to do rolls right now?
Not really, sorry.
Okay, no worries.
We don't have
I
that
just wanted to
going,
check. Let's go to your character sheet. Doop. Doop. I'm going to give you a stealth roll as you attempt to get past these wolves.
Okay.
That is an 8.
Oh no.
You rolled a 2. So the wolves definitely track you and clock you, and I'm going to say that Rory and Volk notice you as well as you emerge. But the wolves do not approach you. They do not bar your entry. You're able to sneak around and pass right between the old rusty iron bars of this gate, and you have now joined the party.
Nice.
Diana, is that you?
Yes.
Diana.
She's definitely a bit out of breath. She would have been, like, full sprinting her, trying to get to her as soon as possible.
Oh, how glad I am to see you.
I'm sorry I left you.
It's okay, you don't need to explain yourself.
I thought that you might be in danger, so I wanted to come as soon as possible.
Well, you picked an opportune time to come. Yes, well, I'll just kind of point at the wolves like this.
We killed a vampire thingy.
A vampire thingy?
We killed a man named Dorothy. Yes.
He was turning into a vampire.
We lost him in the vampire.
Well,
It was very strange.
you did the right thing, I guess. Is that guy who hung himself still in the room?
He's in the main room, right? We're outside the church, I believe.
Yeah, at this point
Yeah.
you guys would have come outside, but I believe last session you took Donovich down and
Yes.
laid him to rest on his bed.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. Get the man down.
Okay. Yeah, you did the right thing then, I guess. There wasn't anything we could have done.
There was not, sadly. It was a tragic circumstance, and even more tragic is this. And I'll kind of like point to the wolves again. Did you remember? Do all of you remember what they said about the daytime thing?
The daytime thing?
Yeah, that these beasts dare not roam during the daytime, and the daytime tends to be safer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I vaguely remember that.
Ismark is with you guys. Ireena is too, but Ireena is more focused on reading this new book of prayers that she has. But Ismark will speak up and he will say, "Yes, unfortunately, we've always had a problem with these things. At one point, we had patrols going around, but we've never been able to keep them out after sundown."
Mm-hmm. I see. So,
Will the hallowed ground remain long enough for us to get to the morning?
Ireena says, I honestly have no idea. It seems like you would need to be a priest of some great power to be able to hollow ground, and it will be tied to the symbol of the Morning Lord on the inside, on the altar. I can't find any information on how to repair a spell such as that once it has been broken. Um, and I don't have any magical ability myself, unfortunately.
Likewise.
Uh,
What
I should describe these two newcomers to Diana. Ismark is a man with a Kurt Cobain sort of vibe to him. He's about 6 feet tall, fairly well built. He's got a sad face but a smile nonetheless, and he's got dirty blonde hair that comes down to about his shoulders. And his sister Ireena is strikingly pretty in a slightly uncomfortable way. She has a golden hue to her skin and red hair that falls tumblingly down her back. She also has a silk red scarf wrapped around her neck, which she keeps carefully in place.
Okay.
So
I'm kind of at a loss for what to do. Do you think these are just regular wolves?
I mean, the little pup, I assume, right? I don't think these
Their
are.
behavior doesn't feel like regular wolves.
Yeah.
No wolves not attack like this. I may not have a scent of sense with magic, but I do have a tactical mind, and I think the best position to be right now, friends, would be in the cellar.
Okay.
Might be right.
Yes.
Sounds like the best idea.
Ismark will clap you on the shoulder and he will say, I agree. We should at least wait until the sun comes up again, such as it is.
Exactly. I'll lead the rear,
Rory.
please. Rory, come down.
Rory will fly down and join you.
Marvelous. Right, everyone in the cellar, and just kind of like, do you know when you have like ducks and you kind of like get them to go
Yeah,
in
yeah.
line? Yeah, exactly.
Ducks
Yeah.
in a row.
Exactly.
So
Ducks
you
in a
file
row.
your way back into the
That's
church,
the one.
and of course the inside of the church is still a mess. The fight between Doru and Donovich, when Doru returned to his father from the dead, has left the place a mess with broken pews everywhere. The roof has caved in a couple of places, and water seeps through. You're able to pass through the swollen doorway to get down into the... what do they call it?
Basement?
It is the
Basement
base,
cellar?
the undercroft. That's the word I was looking
Undercroft,
for.
that's it,
You're able to make your way down to the undercroft and seal up the trap door. Could I get someone to make a sleight of hands check to see how well they can rig a trap here?
I can.
I think the idea is less
Or not a
so
trap,
rig a trap, more barricade.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah. We'll do sleight of hand or survival, either or, whichever one you have a higher one on.
Sleight of hand.
I'm fairly good at survival.
Okay.
Help.
So you think you secured this trapdoor very well. You maybe brought down some broken pew pieces and jammed them up from underneath to try to block the entrance into the undercroft. And it is pitch dark in here. Those of you with dark vision are fine. And there's a little bit of light filtering from the cracks in the wooden ceiling above you. It's through this, of course, that the sound of Doru's wailing could be heard earlier in the night, or earlier in the day. So, you believe you guys are secure in the undercroft here.
Diana, could I trouble you for some of your magic?
Of course. What do you need?
Some lights would be nice.
Yeah. I'll cast dancing lights.
Alright. Dancing lights. Yep. So you shoot off the dancing lights. You are now well lit.
It's lit.
It's lit.
Sorry, I can.
It's lit.
And
Jesus.
the night becomes eerily quiet.
Well, I'll be on alarm, huddled in the corner, sword at the ready.
That works. Now, the night continues on. Around, you would guess, midnight or so, a strange thing happens. There are there are, what would you call them? Like crypt entrances down here, like little reliquaries. That's the word.
Reliquaries.
There are little alcoves in the walls down here that have urns in them. And around midnight, some of the urns begin clattering and shivering in place. And
What? Do I know what this is?
you want to make a religion check?
Yeah, I'll make a religion check. If I've seen this in my travels. Oh. Nope.
Yeah, no, unfortunately. Unfortunately not. Oh,
Is everything okay?
Riley is typing.
Oh.
Yeah, go for it. So about 10 minutes pass. Volk is going to cast a spell, during the end of which Riley Volk gets a sense of the surrounding area. Yeah, 30 feet. So you see no creatures are highlighted, but there's a general enchantment to the air, and you can see just on the edges of your vision there are some faintly glowing blue lights just walking past. They would be under the school of illusion magic. But these would be outside. They're above your level, so these would be at ground level outside of the church. And you can see one after another, they sort of pop up and then walk out of your range of vision.
Weird.
That is bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
Are we sure we're safe down here?
I think this is the safest place we'll be able to get. Whether it's completely safe, I do not know. But I know one thing, that if something's come down here, I'll be the first to attack it.
As you say that, a figure rises up in the midst of you from the ground.
Son of a bitch.
Glowing vaguely blue. You see the remains of some sort of warrior pull himself up from the ground, but he doesn't disturb the dirt as he does so. It looks,
That's weird.
for all appearances, it's an adventurer, but his skin is a little rotted. Yeah, and Volk, as soon as he appears, you see that glowing blue light around him of that illusion magic.
Something's not what it seems like here. There's illusion magic.
Illusion. So this is not real, and I'll kind of try and pass my hands through this thing.
Yeah, it passes right through, and the creature takes no notice of you. It looks around, not seeing seemingly anything around it, and then it turns and it walks in a westwardly direction, as if it's climbing up a slope. It just begins to ascend in midair and passes through the ceiling and then out the far wall.
Damn. Okay.
Well, that's not creepy at all.
Did you say it was illusion magic? Is there anyone here that could be, I don't know, casting those kinds of spells?
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
Yeah, unfortunately, detect magic doesn't give you the source.
Yeah.
There are many of these adventurers, if that's what they are.
But what I do know is that, steel your nerves, friends. These are but illusions. They are not real. They cannot harm us. And whatever they depict has long since passed.
All right. So you are able to spend the night here in the crypt. Are we setting a watch, or do you guys just want to sleep right through it?
I said no watch. Yeah. creepy.
We always
stuff.
set a watch.
Yeah.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. Fair enough. Diana just woke up, so might be a good time to put
I-
Diana on first watch.
I could take first turn.
Yeah. Okay. You want to take
Okay.
first two? Okay. And then I'll take the last.
Rory and
take
I can
the-
take one.
Okay.
Okay. So first two watches pass uneventfully. Rory and Volk, on your watch, I would like you to roll a perception check, please.
I rolled an 11.
11. Okay. So you can hear up above the ceiling. You hear a thump and some brushing, and you hear the sound. What sounds like a bird's croak, probably a raven, up above, but nothing more than that.
Okay.
What's that?
That all that happens? I
Yeah,
hear a-
you heard a thump and some fluttering up above, and a couple croaks of a raven.
Oh, that was weird. Red, it's your turn.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Good morning. I'm awake. I am awake. Okay. What have we got for us? Okay. Anything weird happen?
No.
Okay.
Like some animal noises.
Oh, I hope some of those bloody wolves.
Nah,
Yeah.
it wasn't wolves, it was like a bird or something.
Bird or something.
Anyways.
Yeah. Yep. This
Yeah.
is fine.
That's
I'll
okay.
shape into kitty cat form and curl up and go to sleep.
Yeah.
That
And I'll
works.
just continue my watch till the morning.
Yeah. So, nothing else happens during the night. You're able to wake up in the morning.
All right. Wakey, everyone. Time to get out of this dingy place.
Okay, let's go.
There's a good chance we might be fighting something as soon as we leave this place, so remember to stretch. Or we'll get a cramp from fighting
Yeah.
back.
Maybe the others wolves haven't just stayed overnight waiting for us.
Well, from what I gathered, there
I
at
can
least be
turn
much-
it. I
Sorry,
can
go
turn
on.
into like a tiny animal, crawl through the gaps, see if there are any wolves left before you
can
guys.
certainly do that.
Risk getting in trouble.
I think if there is wolves, it'd be better to face them head on, especially in the morning, since they should be much weaker now, right? I'll look at.
That's true. Is the sun up yet? Can we tell?
Your sense of time would say it's roughly 5 a.m. at this point. Ismark will concur with you that the creatures of the night don't generally stick around during the day.
Is 5 a.m. morning? That seems like still
Yeah,
nighttime
That's
to me.
that's roughly when the sun comes up.
Mhm.
That sucks.
I'll go and crack open the undercroft door then. And
Yeah.
cure them.
So you find the corpse of a raven up here. It has been shot through with an arrow, and it carries in one of its claws some brown-colored thing.
Do I recognize what this brown-colored thing is? Is that
Yeah,
like
it looks
leather?
like vaguely food-like.
Oh, full raven.
It's like a tan on one side, and it's got mushy on the other. It doesn't take much to looking at it to assume it's some kind of pastry.
Pastry. I feel like that's important somehow. We'll take
Do I,
the
do I remember anything from the conversation with the kids about pastry?
You remember they talked about a thing called the Trail of Treats, which is
Yeah.
if kids aren't supposed to follow the Trail of Treats, but if they're particularly bad, their parents will tell them to go out and follow the Trail of Treats, so that they will go somewhere else to dreamland, essentially.
They'll fucking die. Jesus Christ. I'll tell the party pastry. I know, right? I'll kind of put the bird aside, Right. I don't see any wolves. Do I see any wolves?
As you peek outside, there are no wolves outside. It looks like you have passed the night unscathed.
Ah, we've passed the night, friends. All is well. All is well. Right. Stretch and then head off to where was the place again?
Yeah, so Ismark will say, we want to get to Valaki. It is another settlement in Barovia. It is the only walled city that I know of. I've been told it is very safe. I went there as a boy with my father for a festival. It's been quite some time though.
Festival.
It's maybe a day if we're quick, day and a half if not. I don't want to camp in the woods, so we may want to not tarry.
Yes, that's a great idea.
Good idea.
Since it's day's break, maybe we should get a foot on Ponto.
Yeah, for sure.
Wonderful. Right. Everyone grab up the camping gear and then we'll be off. Ismark, would you like to lead the way?
I would certainly. It would be my honor. And he looks over all of you and smiles, and you can see that the insignia on his shirt is looking a little more polished. It looks like he did some work over the night. Now that he has a crew again.
He's got a crew. He's going to do a heist soon.
Yeah. So he is going to begin the march out of town. Do we have a marching order out of town?
What a man. Marching out of town, gang? I guess we talked about this before, didn't we, Ilena? Ilena in front, Red in back.
Yep.
Yeah. Everyone else in the middle.
Yeah, like a sandwich.
Okay.
Yeah,
Ismark
I'll-
is up near the front too.
Okay.
I'll go second to back next to Redmond.
Okay. In that case, Red and Diana, you are the ones who hear as you are making your way out of the village of Barovia. You hear a squeak, squeak, squeak of a pair of wheels. And as you look around, you can see passing between two houses is a cart. It looks like a food cart. There's a big umbrella set up over top of it. There's a couple of shelves of sweet-smelling pastries, and an old woman is pushing this cart. And she glances up at you as you guys pass by her, and she gives you a wide, toothless grin. She's got maybe 4 teeth in her mouth total. And she waves at you.
I'll hold up the caravan. I think it'd be a good idea to stock up on some food just before we leave, and I quite like sweet things. Diana, like make a head movement, like, come on.
Are you sure that's a good idea? I thought pastries were. Thought they were the ones leading children away.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't.
Do you
Oh,
not share
boy.
this?
Why am I still brittle? I don't trust this.
It's just well, I'll be the first to taste this. It's just pastry. It's just pastries. I have a good eye for poison. It comes with experience.
Yeah.
I'll just get a few. Would you like any? Ilena, would you like some? Maybe a cinnamon roll?
It's okay even without for me.
Oh, okay. Anyone else like some? I'm gonna grab some for myself then.
Ireena is going to be looking past you, and she sort of shakes her head and she says, I don't know. I've never seen that woman before.
It's nice not to be scared of strangers. They can often be a pathway to a wonderful adventure.
If you say so.
Oh,
Just,
boy.
let me purify them first.
The way you say
I don't trust-
purifying.
I don't trust food from strangers.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Well, you can come with. I'll get. If I get the food, would you do your thing with it then?
Yeah.
Marvelous. Well, I'm gonna get some pastries for myself. I really could use an apple tart right now in this strange land. If none of you want one, I'll pay, of course.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna head
I'm
off.
fine.
If you trust her,
I will
then
eat my rations.
if you trust her, then I'll come get some myself.
Wonderful. Yes, pop on over. We'll talk to her together.
Okay, so
do like a little run.
yeah, so she's about 30 feet away. It looks like she was passing between two different buildings. And she's stopped the cart at this point, and she's put little blocks down to stop the wheels from rolling away. And she sets her hands on the cart, and she says, "Hello, dearies. What can I get for you today?"
Hello. Well, just some pastry. Do you have some apple turnovers?
We have apples, we have mincemeat, we have berry pies. All of the best for the growing young boys and women of Barovia.
What?
Boys and women, huh?
Boys and girls.
Boys and girls.
I'm off my game.
I am neither a boy nor a girl, but I could use with some pastries right now. How much for, about 3, 4, 5 apple tarts?
They're a copper apiece, dearie.
A copper apiece? What the fuck? That's amazing.
Just to bring joy to this dour, sad land, you know how it is.
Oh, are you not from this place then?
I travel here and there.
Oh, are you one of the Vistani?
No, I'm not one of them, dearie. Me and my sisters, we bake pastries, and we travel from place to place, and we make sure that everyone has a good time here in Barovia.
I mean, it's a hard job trying to ensure that everyone has a good time in Barovia, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it must be difficult for a poor old woman like you to survive out here all alone.
Yeah, how do you travel? Do you just walk around?
I walk around on these old 2 feet, and she shakes her legs. She shakes her feet out, and you see there are some dirty old hiking boots on her feet. She says, "We get by. You know, there are old ways." She makes some symbols with her hands, including the symbol against the evil eye. She says, "There are ways to keep the creatures of the night off your back if you know what you are doing."
I understand. I can assure you I do not know what I'm doing, but I trust you. I imagine you've had a wide way of experience. So, are you staying here, or are you moving on to the next place to bring happiness to Barovia?
Oh, I will be moving on soon. Not any time soon, though. I need to visit all of the houses in this delightful little village.
Really? That's a bit weird, isn't it? Visiting houses? Isn't it normally the way that you set up in a town square and then people come and enjoy and partake?
Well, the people of Barovia are a little shy. You know, they tend to get in trouble when they leave their doors. There are wolves about, and zombies, and skeletons, and witches.
Oh yes, that is true. Well, if you could do me a favor, there's this older lass named Mary who's been having a hard time recently. Here's a few copper, and just give her free pastries for me. That'd be marvelous.
Aye, that is so kind of you, sir. Mad Mary, she's the one who lives down across from the Indirovich Manor, is she not?
She is, yes.
I will make sure she has plenty to eat.
This is messed up. I look at Diana to the side and say, so how do you make these pastries then?
She says, "Oh, you know, we forage for ingredients out in the woods. We have little helpers here and there that help us. The woodland creatures are very kind to old ladies like us."
Yes.
Also, Volk, you get some upsetting vibes from this. You're pretty sure this is a fey creature in disguise.
Yep.
With a 20...
Creepy old woman.
With a 20, I'll give you... It could cross your mind that this could be some sort of hag. Although you don't know enough of her at this point to guess what type of hag. But this is clearly a fey creature in disguise. Yeah, so she says, "My sisters and I, we talk to the forest creatures and they bring us things. We have little birds here and there that help us out. You should be nice to birds. They say it is a grave sin to strike a raven and bring harm to a raven. If you do so at the start of a journey, it's said that they bring doom to your journey."
Did we kill a raven on the... I feel like we did, right?
We did kill
First
a
thing you guys
raven.
did is you shot a raven out of a tree as it was trying to warn you to get up and move before the wolves got you.
Yes, well, when we had an encounter last night, there on our footstep, none of us shot it, of course, but there was a raven with a pastry.
Oh, really? How strange. That is an ill omen. Perhaps you should stay here in the village of Barovia where it is safe
We
Ah,
can do that.
We must be moving on. And so many things to do, you know?
And where are you going, dear? He's in such a rush, all of you beautiful young people.
Volk is
Volk.
just gonna like
Do you coming up and say that this is a
walk
fucking...
over. No, they are not gonna tell the hag that they know that she's a hag. They're just gonna walk over, grab Red's shoulder, grab it's Ireena who's over there with Red.
No,
Ah,
Or
Diana.
it's Diana.
Diana. So he is going to grab their shoulders and say, "I think we best be going."
Yes, I just after I get some patience. Are you okay, Volk?
Yep, I just think that we need to get going while the day is young before we have a chance of, wolves. Let's not waste time, please. And
yes.
like give you a look that says like it just like glancing
I'll
over the shoulder at the hag, just
I'll
like
kind of lean over and whisper into your ear. Is there something you need to tell me? Just whisper into my ear.
think we'd better go. I will tell you later.
Oh, okay, all right.
By this point, the old woman has wrapped up 6 pies in wax paper. So that's going to be 6 copper from you.
I'll take some.
And then she sticks them in a little wicker basket that she pulls from one of the compartments of this cart. And she says, it's important to finish a deal once it's been struck. You always need to make sure a trade goes through properly, otherwise something ill may befall you.
I can understand. I had many experiences like that when I was younger. Here's your 6 copper. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the business, dearie. Enjoy the pies. I wish you good dreams, all of you.
Thank you. And they're all the same to you. Have a good day now.
Good day.
Oh,
She flashes her 4-tooth smile again, and then she continues on her work. You hear the squeak, squeak, squeak as she rolls her cart down the walkway, turns, goes up the pathway to the next house, and she tarries in the cart at the door as you guys make your way back to the group.
Wonderful.
Okay, so that was a hag.
A hag? What's a hag?
Hag is a fey creature. Striking deals with them is almost unilaterally a bad idea. I would not trust those pastries within a mile of my mouth.
But she... Oh no. I asked her to go and visit Mary. She's in danger.
I told you I had a bad vibe. It took me a while to realize.
Why didn't you say so?
I told you.
You said we had to go.
I told you I had a bad vibe.
Yes.
And then you went to the lady anyways. It took me a while for my memory to kick in and me to recognize what exactly was going on.
I
was not going to tell the lady that I knew that she was a hag because that's another bad idea. You do not reveal your card. You do not reveal your hand to fey creatures.
Look, I didn't.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry, I was slow.
Just next time, just tell me, because I could have put a stop to it there, and now we've lost... How long has it been since we talked?
It's only been like 20 minutes. 20 minutes to a half hour.
I say to the party, do we go back? Can we go back? Do we have time?
I think it's not a good idea to go back, and if just one encounter with a fake creature is quite bad.
I just don't want to leave the kind people who treated us so well at the mercy of some deal-striking demon.
I think that the hag has been in Barovia and this area for far longer than we have, and the people here probably are wiser than you in their dealings.
I look at the people here, being Ismark and Ireena.
Yeah.
Do you know? You said you've never seen this person before, right?
Ireena shakes her head. She says, "I've never seen that person before." Ismark, on the other hand, is even more pale than usual, and he says, they tell stories to us as children that if we misbehave, they will send us to the woods, and the hags will make pies out of us
Treats.
down the trail of treats.
I dropped the fucking place. Oh shit.
I've never heard of one of them actually appearing, but they say that if you misbehaved, your parents will sell you to the hags. I didn't think they were real.
That means so many children are indeed. We have to go back. Please, friends. For the sake of the children. It won't be a quick moment. I will just talk to her. I'll sort things straight. Make a
For
deal.
the children.
Thank you.
For the children. So
For
are
the
you
children.
going back
children.
on your own, Redmond?
No, well, would anyone like to go with me? I
I
would
guess
like to help.
I just don't know if it's safe for us to do this at this point.
That's fair. You're
Yeah.
still within eyesight of this old woman. It looks like she wants to knock on the door. It doesn't take a lot of insight to notice that she has an eye on you, and she's waiting for you guys to leave before she knocks on the door to this next house.
Miss Lady. Hello.
Yes, dearie.
Hey, I'm so sorry. So my friend has just informed me that you might be a hag. I'm sorry that's
my gosh!
I'm sorry that's an offensive word. I wouldn't use it in the context, but that's apparently a thing.
She
rather than...
laughs. She hag. What imaginations you youngsters have. Next you'll be telling me that you send children down into the woods in the bog to be made into pies, ground up in that old windmill down the road. Such silly nonsense, silly nonsense.
I literally just told Red that it was a bad idea to let the hag know that we knew she was a hag.
Well, about that. So, yes.
I don't say that out loud.
No, okay. I mean, well, the vibe I'm getting is that yes, apparently, the children follow pastries and then disappear, which everyone knows apparently here, which is very strange. When I was growing up, it was more so than sell you up to the mines, not make pies out of you. But to each their own. Still,
Sell you off to the mines. That's a classic one too. No, I'm not. No, I've no interest in children theory. You're all children to me.
That makes it worse.
lady. I'm sure, but the thing is, I really greatly respect the opinion of my friend, and if they say something, I tend to believe it because I trust what they think, and I get the feeling that this may be the case too. And there's no need to hide anything, because you're safe. We're not going to attack you or anything. I was just hoping we can talk about it. Like, what's it that you intend to do? Maybe I can help. I've been incredibly helpful to people in the last couple of days, and I would love to extend my services. And I really hope it's been a minute, and I really hope hags are not immune to being charmed. Oh boy.
The woman is listening to you talk, and she's smiling wryly, and she says, "Why, sure, dearie, we can talk. Come on, come closer to my cart. Have a discussion with me. You're all welcome."
I am staying a frick away.
Wonderful. I'll walk over to the cart.
Yeah, is anybody coming with you?
Please, friends, I don't want to be alone with this old lady that's going to stab me in the gut. I don't want to be made into a pie. Please.
I will very, very reluctantly approach, but I am just my eye is on this hag.
Yeah.
Okay. So the two of you approach.
I was going behind Redmond. Just
I was
behind.
Okay.
Thank you, friends.
Yeah. With that, the rest of the party will come with you as well. Nobody wanted to go near this thing, but there's strength in numbers.
We are going to die.
Yeah. So as you get closer, she says, "So what effort did you want to talk about, dearie?" As she says that,
Yes.
you see she's reached into one of the pockets on her garb, and she pulls out a little dried cricket, and she sort of twiddles it between her fingers as she continues talking, and she makes little motions with her fingers.
Is she
what would
casting
you
a
like
spell?
to ask?
Is she
She is casting a spell, but you'll have a minute to get a word off before the spell happens.
Lady, I know you're casting a spell. You do that too. Could you please stop? Please, for the sake of this conversation.
Anybody have anything that can counter a spell effect as it's happening? I don't think we're
But
too low
what
level to
we
have counter
see-
spells, right?
I do not
don't
have
think
counterspell.
so.
We're too low.
I don't think I'll ever get that.
I think we're too low level to have counterspell. There's physical counterspell, which is, grab the
I
hand.
punch you. Like
or punching, but I don't think I have enough time for that.
you can cast a spell to break your hand. Yes, there's that.
Yeah, unfortunately, you guys are approaching her at this point.
Yeah.
You're a little too far outside of melee to get something in before she casts this.
Okay, what is it?
Okay.
Druid craft. I make the cricket
Holy shit.
come back alive.
Yeah, so she casts... Let's see.
Oh gosh.
On the whole party,
She
right?
casts Sleep. Yep, in a range within 30 feet of her. Or sorry, 90 feet of her. So that will catch everybody. I believe Ireena has the smallest number of hit points.
Yeah, how much hit points does she have?
She has 12, I believe.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Yeah, I have 28. Yeah.
she's out. I think
That's
she's the only one out there, right? No.
Ireena.
It takes
let's
the
bring you
lowest
over.
HP,
Boop.
and then it takes the next lowest HP until it runs out.
Yeah, that's
Boop.
it. Yeah.
And Ireena.
Does anybody have lower than 24?
Ireena.
I do not have.
I do not have lower than 24.
Rory has lower than. I have no idea. I assume that Rory has lower than 24.
So you can drag yourselves onto the map if you would like.
Oh, we're gonna fucking murder a high girl now.
I
Why
will
is she like
drag
this?
Diana onto
Either
the
we
map.
will murder her, or she will murder us. I think I
no.
know which one is more likely. It's Redmond.
You want to just
Did not
say we
listen
murder
to me.
her?
I did listen to you. I greatly respected your opinion, and I just thought we'd confront because
I told you not to show your hand.
I, direct communication is the best way, right?
I'm the one who knows all about fey creatures.
Yeah, so as she was casting it, she was saying, whatever do you want to talk about? You guys, you folks, you boys and girls seem awfully agitated. We should all just take a moment and calm down. And
Like,
And
You
then
know-
who falls asleep?
Ireena falls asleep. That knocks off 12 of the 32, so there's 20 remaining. Anybody have 20 hit points?
Nope, 24.
Maybe
My,
Rory. I
I'm
don't
not
know.
the only hit points I have.
We'll say
I don't know
Rory
how many
does just
Rory
because
Yep.
it'll get her out
Then
of
we
the
don't
fight.
have to worry about
Yeah, exactly.
managing her player.
So as she's saying this, Ireena, who's walking next to Ismark, she says, I feel, and then she just passes out in Ismark's arms, and Rory is going to just collapse on top of you, Volk, as she falls asleep.
Lady, what did you do? I know this. I know the spell, right? Because I have sleep. Is it the same?
Yes, it is the sleep spell. It's more powerful than the one you can cast,
I see.
but it's the same
lady,
spell.
Lady, I know this spell. Can you undo this? I'll say to the party to just.
Why are we being so calm? I'm gonna draw my scimitars.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
Peaceful down
whatever
right now.
weapon
Yeah.
I have is out.
So she is completely calm, but I would like everybody to roll initiative at this point. I will add turns for everybody who is conscious.
Okay, yes. Let's go.
Sometimes there just isn't talking to some people, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Especially when they are evil fey creatures.
Especially
Evil.
when they are.
She's just an old woman trying to bring a little happiness into the world. Why you gotta be so judgmental?
Oh my.
Evil.
Hags are universally like my guess is like neutral evil or something.
Yeah, I don't think, like, they're not evil. They're selfish. Mostly.
That's how I
what they
determine.
was?
That's
Oh,
how
yeah.
I define. That's how I define alignments is selfishness versus not
Altruism.
selfishness.
That's
Altruism, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I define the alignment chart
fair. Okay.
personally. How willing you are to forego your own good
Isn't that-
for the good of another.
Isn't that very like Christian and weird way of judging morality though? It's like where sacrifice is the main core goal. It's like you can't be happy if you want to be a good person. Okay, maybe that's an inappropriate conversation for this certain moment. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we can talk about that later.
We can talk about that later in the break.
Yeah. Ileena, I don't have a initiative roll for you at present.
Oh god. It did not have it. Well, it was a 15.
It was a 15. So
I can reroll.
do that. Oh, that works
Now
too.
it's an 8.
I can make it a
How else
15
did you find
if
her
you want a
out?
15.
Yeah. Let's see. Will it change that much? Yes, it will.
Okay.
Yes, I need my. I need.
Yeah. So you draw. Diana draws her scimitars, and she, completely unfazed, she says, "Dearies, why don't you let an old woman go about her business, bringing happiness to all these poor lost souls?"
I swear to God, I'm gonna murder you.
And then, yeah.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think you're quite. Here's something else.
I have no idea what you mean, dear. And she gives that four-toothed smile. Then it is Ismark's turn. Ismark is going to use his action to shake Ireena awake. So you hear her say, "Oh, what came over? I don't know what came over me." And then I'm going to roll. Now that she's in the initiative stack, I need to roll one for her.
You get initiative. You get it.
You get initiative, and you get initiative. I have made the Cardinal DM mistake of having too many NPCs already.
Yeah.
It's
We
session
only have
2.
2, it's fine.
Initiative
I mean,
for Ireena.
We have to do an escort mission with these two, so they have to be here.
It's true. So she will join the initiative at the... No, she's awake, so she would take her normal spot. There we go. Yeah, so Ismark spends his turn waking her up. And Diana, it's your turn.
Okay, has the hag acted yet?
She has not acted yet. She is currently... She's about 10 feet in front of Redmond. And Volk is currently holding up a sleeping Rory on the other side of her. And you are at Redmond's side. So you're about 15 feet away from the old lady.
I'll just move forward, moving past Redmond, and say, Red, I'm sorry, but I think this thing is evil. And I will attack it twice, like offhand attack.
Sure. Yep. So you approach and you make 2 melee attacks.
Yep. Both of them are with advantage.
Okay. So.
And it's triple advantage as well. So.
Sorry?
It's triple advantage because of elven accuracy.
Oh damn. So I would roll 4 times and we'll take the highest. So 15. So the first one's a 16. It does not hit. The second one is for triple advantage. 2, 3. Okay, so you do manage to get 1 in. So you approach this lady. Your first attack it seems like you hit her, but it doesn't really seem to do any damage. And the second one, you do slice back on the backhand, and it does catch, but it seems to almost catch, and it feels like you've hit stone. And she chuckles, and she says, "Tickles."
You are a strange being.
I'm not the one attacking defenseless old ladies in the street, dear.
You're clearly not defenseless, and you've just put 2 of my companions to sleep.
Well, I'm being accosted by a bunch of strangers. I don't know what you want me to do. I need to defend myself.
That's the end of my turn.
Fair
Not doing
enough.
anything else.
Ileena, it is your turn.
Okay then. I will. What will I do? Let me think. So respond, look at her, and say, "No, casting spells on on people that did not give their consent. Not a good thing."
It's also not a good
Now,
thing to surround an old lady and threaten her. Menace a poor old woman just trying to bring happiness into the world with delicious pastries, which you didn't even try before throwing on the ground.
okay, well, I will use my vow of enmity on
Alright.
her.
She is
Now I have
vowed.
advantage. I'll move here,
Okay,
Attack her up.
and then I'll attack her
go
twice
for it.
with advantage.
Go for it.
24
Holy!
and 11.
11. Okay. So you stab into her with the rapier, and this one, it feels like you're cutting through gravel, but you do manage to get a decent wound in.
Yeah.
The parrying dagger, on the other hand, completely misses.
Okay. Yeah.
It glances off her skin as if it's rock.
Now then, this is it.
This is not a regular old lady.
Exactly.
Ireena is going to go next, unless you have anything else to do. Sorry.
Oh no, I have nothing else to do. As
Okay.
I do not have no actions left.
Yeah. So Ireena is going to blearily rub her eyes, and she's going to say, "We are attacking an old woman. What's going on?" And Ismark is going to look down at her. And he just say, "It's some sort of demon creature. She's repelling their attacks." And Ireena, she's going to roll her eyes and she's going to say, "Of course, it's always something." And
You know it.
and she is going to draw her short sword, and she is going to run up, and she's going to say, "Whatever you are, foul creature, you will not plague the people of this fair village any longer." She is going to stab. She hits! She manages to hit.
Yay!
Black blood oozes from the wounds that have managed to pierce the skin so far. The silver weapons in particular seem to be doing more damage than the regular weapons. So she stabs it in and she yanks it out. She says, "What are you?" The old woman just gives her a side and she says, "You're reserved for someone else, dear."
What the fuck?
Volk's turn.
As a bonus action, Flame Blade.
All right.
I step in and I attack
All right.
with a natural 20.
Holy! Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, so you
That's
do
16 fire
16
damage.
fire damage. That catches her attention. And
Die, you creature of the night!
yeah, so she was facing Ireena, and so she's gonna
I stab her in the back.
yeah, she shrieks an inhuman screech, and she's gonna turn on you, the flame blade coming loose, and she's going to look down at you and she's going to say, "You little
Die, you
creature."
foul creature of the night. He is in. They are in Black Cat.
Okay.
So they're tall as a regular person.
Yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to do, Riley?
Just hiss like, "Die, you foul creature of the night."
Yeah, she's gonna look down at you, and she's gonna sort of readjust her shoulder. You hear some cracking of bones, and then she's gonna stand up to a taller height. She grows almost a foot as she stands up. All of her bones crack. She rolls her neck, and she
I'm in
says,
trouble.
"A creature from the Fae. A
Just
sibling.
like you.
I haven't been to the Feywild in many centuries."
Like
And then-
recognizes like.
Yeah. What is she going to do?
Hopefully not kill us.
So she
Oh,
has
very close.
stood up to a taller height in front of you. She still looks like an old woman, but all of a sudden she has the bearing of a large, brutish man. And she is going to raise her hand and she's going to try to backhand you across the face, Volk.
Yep.
What the actual fuck?
So that is 19
Fuck.
slashing damage as her nails become claws as they rake across your face.
Well,
And as she makes
she
this
critted me.
strike,
She critted me back.
her skin begins to turn black and her hair seems to get oilier and greasier and fall down her back, and two horns appear out of the front of her head. And this horrifying, nightmare-looking hag creature takes the place of this woman in front of you. I'll drop her in the overhead. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, so she's got blue-black skin, long, oily black hair, two horns coming out of her head, and she's just completely dressed in rags. So she rakes her claws across your face, Volk. And then she says, I was willing to let all of you go, but you just had to press poor old Morgantha as she was going about her business, just trying to bring a little peace and prosperity to this disgusting little village.
Volk will, like, glare at her and then, like, glance over at Red and said, I tried to keep them from confronting you.
I thought we were a team. Hey, we gotta show solidarity in front of the night hag.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, fucked me, I guess. Alright.
I'm chaotic.
Okay, that's what
I can admit my emotions to another creature without feeling remorse about doing so.
Okay.
Friends.
She doesn't have anything else to do on her turn, so she's just going to tower over you, Volk, and it is now Redmond's turn.
Marvelous. I will go up and I'll say, you unfortunately brought this upon yourself. You should have just talked with us. A conversation could have fixed this, but now the sword's come, and I'll bear down with my long sword. 24, and then I would like to smite.
Okay. You are more than welcome to.
For not as much damage, but
It's something.
I will say to her, says, if you have any enmity, direct it at me. And then I'll end my turn.
She says, you young pup, I have no particular... Why am I... Shitty Canadian Slavic. It's the British. Every time I go after you, my voice gets weirdly Britishized.
It's an empathy thing, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Sympathy, antipathy.
Yeah.
She says, I have no enmity towards you, pup. I simply wanted to go about my business. And she's going to spit at you. A hawking green Louis hits your black smoking armor.
I'll say to my companions, non-lethal damage. And when I mean that, I say, I take her alive. Please don't kill her. Please? Pretty please? I say.
Ismark comes up behind you and he says, I will do my best. And he doesn't have enough movement to actually reach her. So...
He gives emotional support.
Yeah. Definitely.
So he's going to...
Definitely not trying to kill her if he can't reach her.
He's going to get in between Diana and Redmond, and he's going to pull out his heavy crossbow, and he's going to say, I will do my best, as he fires a crossbow bolt into her face.
Oh my fucking god.
Yeah, it hits her on the forehead and just bounces right off.
Oh, fucking hell. I just imagine. Let's take her life when this guy comes up behind me to the pump.
And she is going to look at Ismark at this point, and she's going to say, You look familiar. I think I knew your father." And Ismark is gonna, as he's cranking the crossbow back, he's gonna say, "Don't mention his name, witch." Diana's turn. So this night hag has now revealed her true form. She is surrounded by companions, and you are in melee range with her.
Yep. So you said when I hit her before it was like hitting stone, so it was like 0 damage at
Yeah,
all.
so she has resistance to non-magical bludgeoning, slashing, and piercing attacks that are not silvered.
Oh, so there was a bit of damage, just
Yeah,
not...
she has resistance to it, so it did
Okay,
half damage
okay.
from your last attack.
What does grappling do? Does that give...
So with a grappling, you can attempt to restrain her. It would be your strength athletics check versus her strength athletic check or acrobatics dexterity check. And so whoever wins would either get away out of the grapple or get the other person in a grapple. So it would be a contest.
Yeah. Does that just stop her moving, or is that...
Yeah, so you would, when she's grappled, she is restrained, so she can't
She's not
move.
She
She's
can't
not
move.
restrained?
And she's not restrained, as in like she's not conditionally restrained, but she can't
Okay.
move. Her speed is 0.
Yeah, her speed is 0, and she would have to spend an action to get out of your grip, essentially.
Okay. I think I'll just continue trying to attack.
Okay. So 2 more scimitar attacks. You could also, if you wanted to, you have some spells here, or I could just do another 2 scimitar attacks.
Yeah, I want to say before I attack her, you said Ireena is destined for someone else. If you tell us what that means, maybe I could see if we can let you live.
She's gonna smile a wicked grin, and when she smiles now, she has all of her teeth back. They're serrated like shark teeth, and it looks like she might have 2 rows of them. So she's gonna smile at all of you, and she says, "Why, I would surrender myself to questioning, provided I was given safe passage out of here. But I would need your word for it," she says, pointing
Volk
at you with a
shakes her
clawed
head.
finger.
Don't give your word to a hag. That's a bad idea.
I'll just say I'm not giving you anything, and then 2 scimitar attacks.
Okay. As you slash at her, she's going to say, "Let it be known, I was willing to attack, or I was willing to speak. I was willing to talk, and if you would let me go." So are these ones just normal attacks? No advantage?
Yeah, just normal. I
Are
don't
these
believe
lethal?
her anyway.
Are these lethal?
That's a good question. Are
Oh.
these lethal?
I want them to be lethal. I don't think
Okay.
we should let her live.
So the trend continues of nobody listening to Red.
Yep.
I'm sorry, Red, but
Red didn't
Fine,
listen
I'm
to
used-
me, so
I'm used
we
to. I
don't listen to
listened.
them.
I respected your opinion. I listened to you.
Yeah. So both attacks manage to find purchase. Again, it's like you're cutting through a sack of gravel as you drag through. But you do manage to hit both of them.
okay, nice. Yeah, that's the end of my turn.
Yeah. So that brings us to Ileena. Hi, Beaky. What is Ileena going to do?
Okay, so I'll use 1 spell slot for Divine Favor.
Okay.
So now I have 1d4 more
All right.
damage. Then I will attack her twice.
Okay,
Good.
go for it.
Okay. So rapier, the silvered one, please. There is a smite on that.
All right. Hell yeah.
So it's 2d8 or 4 goes up. Okay, that's the whole damage from the first attack. And then,
Okay, so we're looking at, what is that? 8
So
and 9
so
is
it's,
17. So the second one's not going to hit.
okay, it's 36 damage.
Holy. All right.
Wow,
Honkin' 36 damage.
that's
Yes,
impressive.
that's that's it.
Yeah, so she takes that and she glows from the inside. The wounds that she has that haven't closed up yet glow. And she grunts and she says, "Ah, that really stings!"
Holy
And
shit.
smoke comes out of her mouth as she says that. Ireena's turn. Ireena's going to say, "Who am I promised for? What are you talking about? Tell us!" And she is going to attempt to grapple the night hag.
Fuck
So,
yeah.
standing, it's turn to face Ileena, so she is going to try to, with the flat of her blade, one hand on the end and one hand on the handle, she's going to try to grab it around the neck to grapple it. So she's going to make a athletics check, which is strength, versus the night hag's acrobatics. No, she'll also make a strength. It's a tie. So,
So nothing happens, right?
yeah, nothing happens. The Morgantha rolled very poorly on that. So she's able to shake off the sword, and she seems really reticent to even touch Ireena. She doesn't seem to want to have anything to do with her. That brings us to Volk's turn.
With a crack of bones and a flash of magic, Volk's form grows.
All right.
Shifting and changing into that of a dire wolf.
Okay.
A large beast. The dire wolf will then growl very loudly and perform a bite attack, which is +5 to hit.
All
and
right.
because I'm a wolf, and because this lady is surrounded with
Pack
my friends,
tactics. Yeah.
I get pack tactics. So the higher of these two d20. That's a 6 + 5, which is an 11, which I'm sure does not.
Sadly, no. She has an AC of 17.
Yeah, no. So I just growl at her.
Okay.
With now 11 HP.
Yeah.
Because wild shapes.
So the night hag barely responded to that bite. She's going to turn around and she's going to look at you, and she's going to point a finger at you, and she'll say, "You and me, we are going to see a lot more of each other, little one. As for the rest of you, now is not the time." And she's going to reach into a hideous one of the oh, what are they called?
Pouch?
Yeah, it's a pouch around her waist, a fanny pack. She's got a hideous-looking fanny pack that looks like it's made out of an old skull. She's going to reach into this thing. She's going to say, "Now, I have other business to attend to. Feel free to come and visit us at the old bone grinder." And she's going to pull out what looks like a desiccated human heart that's been stuck through with a bunch of knitting needles. She's going to pull it out of this pouch, and she's going to squeeze it in her hands, and then she shimmers and disappears.
What the fuck?
That is the
Do
end of
I
her turn.
still smell her?
You do not. Redmond, it is your turn.
Do I know what the fuck just happened? I don't, right?
You may make a nature check or arcana check. Either will work.
Yes.
No idea. She was there 1 minute. She squished this black desiccated heart and then disappeared. Like magic. One could say a wizard did it.
I look around and says, I think.
Anybody
she is gone.
hurt? Oh, yeah, I'm back to human form. Anybody hurt? Other than me?
No.
Okay.
So I assume we're out of initiative at that point then?
Yep.
Everybody lowering their guards?
No.
I'm not lowering my guard, but I am cutting open the pastries. Is it people?
Alright. Let's get
I will
a
spend
nature check.
a turn casting healing word.
That works. You can
On
make a nature
myself.
check to figure out the nature of these pies if you would like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so with the first pie, Seems to be a genuine apple pie. There's some walnuts in there and some pecans.
I'll take that. I'll put it
Next
in
one,
the
there's what seemed like peaches and some raisins on the inside.
What?
The one after that, there's some almonds
I
and
stay on high alert the entire time.
some different types of berries and some nondescript meat.
Okay, I'm not,
It's a white meat. You guess maybe pork? Seems sort of pork-like.
Why would people have almonds and pork? Now that is barbaric. That is barbaric.
In all of the 6, 4 of them have meat of some sort in them, and 2 of them are just regular fruit pies.
I'll take the 2 regular foot pies and just 4 meat pies on the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah.
The whole cart is
wouldn't
there
trust-
as well, if you want to.
I
Sort
would
through all
not
of
trust any food from a hag. This is a bad idea. Don't try to keep it.
Sorry, what was that?
Oh my god, Redmond!
Yeah,
I'm gonna slap it out of his mouth.
let's get a Constitution saving throw, Redmond.
It's poisoned?
Yes!
Give me a minute while I find the statistics for these pies.
Oh boy.
Oh boy!
These pies have
Absolute
stats.
idiot!
I go to get a drink, I return, and what I hear is poison.
He's eating one of the pies from the hag that I told him was probably a very bad idea. Actually, 100% a very bad idea. I know. I'm from the Feywild. You should
Okay.
trust me when it comes to Fey creatures.
A true G.
Okay, so you managed to make the save. It is a sweet pie, alarmingly so. You can feel, were you maybe in a weaker state, you don't know if you would be able to stop eating this pie. At present, it's a very tasty, sickly sweet pie that makes you feel pretty good. You feel pretty euphoric. For the next minute, you're immune to the effects of fear.
What the? That's amazing. This pie is amazing.
I'm gonna take away his pie. I'm gonna try to take away his pies.
Why would
Okay.
you do this, Volk? I don't stop you, but why would you do this, Volk?
There's a whole cart of them if you want more.
I am going to put the pies that he got on the cart, and then I'm going to use Druid craft to light a campfire.
Okay.
Oh no, the pies go up in a burning flame of glory. I look at a Volk with eyes, red, burning eyes of smouldering, and you see underneath that smoke maybe there's a slight tear of the only
I
source
don't
of
trust
happiness in
hags.
this strange place.
I do not trust hags.
I say,
Ismark
say
says
to-
that's probably a good idea. Yeah.
And I'm gonna stand there until I'm sure all the pies are burned.
Yeah.
Burned away.
I say to the party, do we make a detour to, make sure that kids don't keep dying?
I would like to, but the way she talked about her bone grinder, it sounded like there were more of her.
Yes.
Or more hags.
I believe this to be the case as well. Yeah.
I've got the feeling I barely survived that. Thanks to you, Red.
Wait, thanks to
I
me?
don't-
Excuse me?
You're the one who showed your hand and told her that you knew she was a hag,
Look,
even though I told you not to.
By the way, Volk, as when Diana mentions that there could be more of them, you would know just based on your time in the Fae that hags tend to come in covens of 3. So if Morgantha said she had sisters, you'd guess there's probably 2 other ones.
Yeah.
You also know that hags
so-
come in all different varieties. They aren't necessarily the same creature she is, but they would also be hags.
Yeah. Basically, I barely survived that. You guys don't. I don't think that at our current ability level, it would be wise of us to go down that route.
You do recall also that the Vistani owners of the Blood of the Vine, they mentioned that there was a a windmill on the
Windmill?
way to Volaki, and they said you should under no circumstances go near that windmill.
Yeah.
Damn. I say.
I
Volk-
say
Go ahead.
let's avoid the windmill for now. If we feel like we're significantly stronger later on, we can try and deal with that. But right now, I just really don't think it's a good idea.
Maybe this is a level 5 kind of problem.
Yeah, maybe
That-
even level 6.
That's very fair. I just wish you'd back me up a bit more, Volk. You know, I feel,
If you will listen to what I say,
I
and
did listen to what you said.
trust me when I tell you things about fey creatures, then I will back you up. But you didn't listen to me. I
trust-
told you under no circumstances should you let the hag know that you know that she's a hag. And what did you do? Immediately told her that you know.
I think. Well, the thing is, I did listen to you. I think I listened to you a bit too much because you said about the deal thing, right? And I thought, we make a deal saying this lady doesn't, harm anyone else, and then, bada boom, as they say in
We'd have to give up too much
slums.
Thank you.
to do
I
something like that.
would give up anything personally to ensure the safety of others, and it's a price I'm willing to pay, of course. I Rory, and frankly, I just think we could be a better team, Volk. Honestly, I think we have to show a show of solidarity.
For there to be solidarity, there also has to be a understanding that some people have expertise in different things. I would not expect to have expertise in things of religious significance. I leave that up to Diana.
I'm glad you didn't say me.
Ismark is going to pipe up at this point. He's going to say, trust. What we're talking about here is trust, and it seems like, correct me if I'm
We're a
wrong
bit
here.
short on that right now.
Yeah, it seems like you guys haven't known each other very long. Do I have that situation right?
Yeah, it's been about 3 days.
3 days? Oh, it feels like a month.
Ha!
When I ran the watch here, we did trust exercises where we would talk with one another, we would play games together, do some downtime activities. Maybe not right now, but it's important to remember that you're both vulnerable out here, and anything could kill you at any moment, and it's in all of our best interests to listen to one another, because the minute you will not see everything, and the minute something gets past your sight, you will die. So I think it would be best to listen to one another more carefully. Obviously, we should respect each other's expertise, no complaint there, but we should perhaps be we should listen to one another a little more closely. That's all.
I look at Ismark in the eye and says, "Such wise words I have not heard." I do listen to you, Volk. I respect your opinion to such a great extent that I will act on it. But you must understand, the thing about me is that your communication is key. And even if something is evil and malformed and has 4 teeth, which will not be in my nightmares at all, it still deserves a talking to, a chance, and sometimes directness is the best way for that. And I am sorry that I was direct, but I promise you, and you can trust me on this, that I will not change.
Then you're gonna die.
Then I will die happy.
Ireena is going to nod with that, and she's going to say, I'm with Redmond on this one. I don't know if I agree with you, Ismark. As much as we should trust each other, we should always give people the benefit of the doubt, even if they're horrific shark women monsters.
Thank you,
Volk.
Ireena.
Volk will look at them all, say, "There's a difference between humans and mortals and fey creatures, and the sooner that you get that into your thick skull, the longer you're going to live."
Well, I have lived.
Volk will walk away.
Well, I have lived this long because of my thick skull, and I will live many years longer because of it. Just a reminder, Volk, everything has a heart, whether it be mortal, immortal, fey, whatever it is. And it always deserves a second chance. And
He's in for a rude awakening.
this is the worst setting for me, but this will be fine.
Yeah, Ireena is actually going to nod along with you, and she's going to say, "You know, that sounds a lot like the teachings of the Morning Lord. Everyone has a new chance in the light of a new dawn. It comes to all of us, even creatures of the pit. Everyone has a chance to do better. It's what makes evil so..." Sorry.
So who's the Morning Lord?
The Morning Lord is somebody, a god that is worshipped here that Diana has not heard about.
Okay.
Yes, she's going to say, one of the reasons evil is so condemnable is because everyone has a chance to do good. There are no, as much as your environment can shape you, there is no truly compelled action.
Yes, this is exactly right. I like this. I mean, I don't really do the whole, worship God thing, but I like the teachings of this individual.
I would be happy to talk more about
of illustrator.
Really, maybe gods aren't half bad, but
Well, some of them. Mother Night isn't particularly pleasant.
Mother Night.
Oh, she's the other god. We worship two gods here. I know I've heard that there are many more in other lands, but we have the Morning Lord and the Mother Night. And she holds up her prayer book. It's got the symbol of a sun a stylized symbol of a sun over a field, which all of you recognize at this point is the symbol of Lathander, but an older version of it from antiquity. Lathander is the god of the dawn, of sun, of goodness. He's essentially Apollo. Lawful good is his thing. She says, the Morning Lord looks after us during the day, and Mother Night looks after the night. Not the big fan of Mother Night, though it is still good to... If you do have to do things at night, it's best to get her... At least avoid her ire, if you can.
Appreciate the fact that the Morning Lord looks after us during the day, and Mother Night looks after the night.
Mm-hmm.
I see. I just remembered why I do not like gods. But thank you for this lesson. I appreciate this.
I would be happy to talk more.
Why is it that you don't like gods?
Just the idea of this distant, powerful being that could save so many countless lives. Could have saved my own in many times. Not doing that. I mean, if I had unlimited power, you could be sure I would be down there in the pits of Waterdeep, ensuring that every urchin had at least something to eat every night. You know what I mean?
Well, depending on the campaign settings, they might not have the ability to do so.
And the gods don't have unlimited power. Some of them are weak in relation to others.
Yes, but they still have more power than, well, let's say any of us, right? I'm sure it doesn't take a omnipotent being in order to ensure that people don't go to sleep starving.
But there's a whole planet, there are countless people. That's why they give their followers the tasks of doing their bidding.
Oh, do not get me started on followers of certain gods. I have seen some corrupt individuals that say they carry out the work of these so-called gods, but in fact they just rob from the poor. Nothing more than con men, really. I am glad, of course, that you are not one of them. And I would never insinuate that you are similar to their ilk, Diana. Ilena.
Don't worry, I wasn't thinking that.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
Ismark is going to nod along, and he's going to pipe up at this point. He's going to say, many Many a righteous defender of a faith has done great evil in the name of that faith. It's a way to justify actions, any actions, good or bad. I don't know if I agree with Ireena. People are bad. Some people. Doesn't matter who they serve, doesn't matter what they want to do. All they do turns to evil.
I agree that there are people like that, but even sometimes the darkest hearts need a bit of light shed on them. I speak for selfish reasons.
We've got our Strahd Von redemption arc here.
God damn it, we do. We're going to redeem Strahd. We're going to turn him to an angel. No. I say to the party. I say to. I keep forgetting his name. Iramovich.
There's Ismark and Ireena.
Ismark and Ireena.
Why do I keep it? I've mixed in my head the name of Ismark and Donovich.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. We have a lot of I names. They sort of get mushed together.
They do.
I mean, not to throw shade at any Slavic people who are out there, but the names all kind of sound the same.
Oh my god.
The names sound the same because we're not used to them. That's
fair.
why they do.
That's fair.
Yeah. So I say to Ismark, and I say, well, yeah, sometimes the darkest hearts need the best shining of light, but I think that's I say it for selfish reasons, of course. I would never ask anyone to think the same as I do, but I just ask that people respect what I think. Sometimes, even if it's a bit selfish.
Well, forgiveness is a noble trait and a noble pursuit.
It is a pursuit indeed. Thank you for understanding, and I'll kind of clap, like in a very verbose way, just kind of clap the back of Ismark and says, "Oh, we should be off then, right?" Then.
He smiles and claps your back in return, and he says, "Aye, we should be off." Enough philosophizing. Let's get on the road.
As we walk, I want to turn back, like walk next to Redmond and say, speaking of gods, I had a small vision. Okay, sorry. I'm using push to talk, so sometimes my thumb slips.
No, we can hear you.
No worries.
You can hear
we
me?
can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I had a short vision last night. There was an airless, I think, wood elf with a small, about 40 years old in the land of Barovia, his village was destroyed and his heirs cut off by one of his own people serving Strahd. I think Alistair wants us to track them down and see what we can do.
I will join you in this pursuit. You can get visions from your god?
That's mainly how they communicate.
Let's see. Well, maybe you're the one engine of good here. And I'll clap in the back and say, I would love to join you in your pursuits, Diana. Thank you for, trusting me enough to share that.
Perhaps when we're done with this quest, that can be our next goal.
I would like that. I think this place is dour enough that there is many to be saved here, or at least to make their life a little bit more comfortable. And from what you described of that young child, if they are still alive, then they could use a bit more comfort in their life.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Oh,
Yes.
shit. So, Spencer.
Yes.
Do you know that do you know that baby swaddling cloth?
Yes.
In the long rest we had, could I have retroactively made that into like a little, not like a pendant, but like a little like cloth origami human thing?
Sure, if you want to.
Is that okay?
You want to roll a performance check to see how human-like it ends up being?
Yes, I would like that, because if it's disastrous, it would be more funny.
It is.
It's disastrous.
That's an awe to both the conversation with Riley and the disastrous thing. It somehow has 6 limbs. You don't know how that happened. It might be a tail. It might be another appendage. But yeah, you have something approaching a person.
I pull out this thing resembling a person, and I pass it to Diana, and I say, sometimes from the most cursed materials, goods and beauty can come from it. Although I still need to work on the beauty part. Here you go.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Go on, sorry, Spencer.
Oh, I was just gonna. You can continue what you're saying. Something is gonna happen with the doll. Just
What the
continue your thing.
Oh shit! Someone's gonna get suffocated.
No. Okay. What's I trying to put that? Yeah, thank you. I don't think no one's ever given me anything like this. At least not on the surface.
I see. Well, I'm glad I was able to give you your first gift. Hopefully many more to come. Gift giving is just a wonderful thing, isn't it?
Yeah. As he presses it into your hand, at first it feels just like a silk doll, but as you're holding it, it starts to feel cold and clammy, and you turn it over and look at it, and for a minute, you could swear it has your face, but it just sort of passes away even as you're looking at it.
Oh, that's not creepy at all.
Oh, that's so cool.
What did you say you made this out of again?
Oh, well, I thought, do you know that swaddling cloth we found in the cursed house? I thought it'd be a wonderful material to repurpose that to good ends. So I just made this, in the night.
In the
Oh, okay.
I think that's the appropriate response.
Yeah.
Okay, yep. Thanks for having me this cursed monstrosity.
Okay, so we just continue walking now, I guess.
Alright. That sounds like a good time to take a break. Do we
Yeah,
want to
let's
take a
take a
5 to
break.
10 minute break?
Yeah.
Alright. See you guys in a bit. I think we are ready to go then.
yes,
I'm
we
good.
are ready.
I only caught the back half of that conversation, so I don't have anything to add.
It's fine. It was a bad it was bad conversation on my part. Hibiki did all the carrying. As always. I'm ready to go when you are.
With my insane
Charisma?
speaking skills. Yes, and charisma.
Why are you not the face of the party? I will never know.
Gotta wonder.
I don't know. It's like I tend to play silent characters. They observe and make insightful comments.
Alright, so we are going to begin long distance travel. So we're going to get a bit of a travel montage. As you make your way out of the village of Barovia, I have the map on the wall, which is what I'm looking at if you guys look at my camera. Because it comes with a beautiful large print map, the book.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so as you make your way out of the village of Barovia, you don't encounter any wolves. You also don't encounter any people. You might be able to spot some shutters closing quickly if you glance at the right house at the right time. But even on the other side of Barovia village, everything's mostly empty. As you make your way out, you can see that the Old Sphalic Road, as it's called, tracks straight down the valley, and it looks like it's going to cross over the swift-flowing, clear river that also passes through this valley. And you could see about 2 miles up ahead, the trees close tight around. But it's a clear shot straight there. You make your way through the valley. We're pushing around 8 a.m. at this point, and this is when you come to the bridge that crosses over the river. Ismark will tell you that this is the river Ivlis. It flows down into the valley from outside in the mists. They have no idea from whence it comes. But it's about 50 feet across. It's fast flowing. It's got a it's almost white. It flows so quickly. But yeah, you come to a wide bridge that stretches across this river, and I would like whoever is the tracker in the party, which I believe is Diana, to roll on the encounter table. So I can roll for you, Diana, if you would like, or you can have somebody else do it.
No, you can just do it.
Okay. So that's /roll 1d12 plus 1d8. Nope, I did that wrong.
Just go over to the side and do the...
There we go.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so as you approach the bridge, I would like Volk, if you would roll a D100 for me, please.
Yes, sir. 39.
39. So as you approach this bridge, Volk, you spot something in the weeds just before the bridge. It is a...
What does it look like?
It is. It looks like the spine of a book sticking up out of the dirt.
I'm going to cautiously approach, looking for anything suspicious as I go.
Yeah, let's get a perception check.
Perception. That's a 23.
23. Yeah, so there are crickets around here. There are toads you can hear croaking down near the river. There have been quite a few footprints and wagon tracks on the road, but there's nothing particularly dangerous around this book. And as you kneel down to get a better look at it, you see on the spine is written Tales of Alec the Bard, children's nursery rhymes.
Fuck yeah.
It is written in common.
Nursery rhymes now.
Hello?
Yep, can you hear me?
Frick.
Yes.
Oh. Uh-oh.
I think Riley has some.
Riley has
problem.
disappeared.
Yep.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Hi.
Yes, now I can hear you. Is written
Yeah.
what?
Sorry. It is a book of children's nursery rhymes written in comic. Common, not comic. The spine says Tales of Alec the Bard, nursery rhymes for children.
I will gingerly pick it up.
Yeah. So, as you flip through it, there is various things about Barovian folklore.
Neat.
Yeah. You know what? I'll post that later.
Yep.
You can, as
I'll just
it'll
stuff
take
it in
you
my
like
pack.
a day or two to read through this thing, but it'll give you some insight into Barovian lore as told through children's nursery rhymes.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll shove it in my pack and worry about it later.
With that, you're able to cross over the bridge with no severe problems, and you can begin going on the next part of the journey. So you continue on your way, and I will get Diana to roll on the random encounter tables again.
That seems lower numbers.
Yeah,
I don't know whether
Lower
that's
numbers are
or
better.
worse.
lower numbers are better,
Well, lower numbers are better. Okay, cool. Lovely.
generally,
Generally.
on the encounter tables. Actually, ones toward the middle of the chart are better, but it's all good. So on the other side of this bridge, you've been traveling, it's probably pushing around 11 to noon at this point. The woods are pretty dense on either side, and Diana, as you're walking, you come across a trail, a dirt trail that goes off of the stone path and veers into the woods, and you can see every 12 feet or so there's a stick stuck in the ground, and hanging off of the stick there's a bead of a candy strung on a necklace. There's one a little further along that has a couple of lollipops dangling from a chain. A little further on there's some cinnamon rolls stuck on this stick, and it looks like these are just peppered going out into the forest off of the main trail.
God, I think we might have found one of the candy trails of those hags.
Let's avoid that. Maybe.
I'm gonna go and I'm gonna.
Sorry, what you gonna do?
All the candy that's visible from the road, I'm just going to take it off the what you said it was on, like a necklace or something.
Yeah, so there are a bunch of sticks sort of stuck into the ground. They're like little wire metal sticks that have been dug into the ground, and hanging off of them like little candy trees essentially are treats.
I'm gonna tear down all of those.
All right. Are you going to try to do that in any particular way, or are you just going to grab them?
I just like I mean, I'm just gonna grab the candy off it, really.
Okay. So how far do you want to go off of the trail to do this?
Anywhere, as soon as I get to a bit that wouldn't be.
It wouldn't be visible from the trail?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, so you're able to do that, no problem. You take the first couple, you go 12 feet in, you grab the next couple, you go another 20 feet in, you grab the next couple bits of candy, and just throw them on the ground. As you pick up one of the cinnamon buns off of the wire, it feels weirdly soft in your hands, and as you turn it over, it just becomes a wad of maggots in your hand.
And I'll throw it just away from me.
You have pretty good passive perception, don't you?
Oh, that's so nasty.
Let's see. Your passive is a 14. That's pretty good. As you get to that third one where you're just beginning to lose sight of the trail. By the way, is anybody coming with Diana to do this?
I'll head off with Diana.
Yeah.
Okay. Ismark, Rory, and
I'm staying
Ireena.
up the road.
Yeah. So you guys, they'll stay up on the road with Volk. So the three of you have gone out and you've begun desecrating this candy path. What are your passives, by the way? Your passive perceptions?
My passive perception is 12.
And Hibiki?
My passive perception is I'll tell you 1 second.
I
My
guess I
passive
could just open it
perception is
myself.
also 12.
Okay. Yeah, so Diana, you're the only one who hears it. When you get to the third marker of this candy, you begin hearing a dry crunching sound in the underbrush off to your left. It's just a... and then another, just quiet for a minute. Then you hear another crunch, crunch, crunch. And then maybe some wet smacking, like...
I'll draw my bow and say to us there's something coming from that way.
Yeah.
And I would shout, if someone's there, you should show yourself. We're not unused to dealing with hags.
The crunching stops, and you see some motion in the underbrush.
Hey, hello. Can you please? Okay, I can we just start backing away at this point? Like I'll give.
Yeah, you can start backing away.
I'll eyes fixed on the underbrush. I'll say, hello. If you want to talk to us in some way, then just say something. If not, then we're just gonna go.
As you begin backing away, you see a creature appear. Oh, I don't have one in the overhead. I'll have to add a picture of that later. You see, it's clearly a cat, but it doesn't have any hair. And its face seems weirdly wide. And as you are backing away, it locks eyes with you, Redmond, and it smiles in a Cheshire kind of way. And it's got row upon row upon row of fangs. They're all canines.
Oh, so it's a carnival. Fuck.
And you can see it's got under one gross, oversized paw what looks like a human femur that it's been chewing on.
So it's like it doesn't eat. It eats people, but doesn't kill people. Is what my understanding is.
It doesn't seem to be following you. It looked at you and it's smiling as you back away.
I'll smile back, with this like demonic grin, And I'll say, do you understand what I'm saying? As still backing away.
It makes no response.
Okay, yeah.
Then tell me if you want me to shoot it.
Do not shoot it. It will attack us. It is just a hungry creature. Like many of us.
But I'm pretty sure that's a humanoid bone in its mouth.
It is a femur, yes. But in my mind, this thing didn't kill a human to get it and just scavenged it, and I would not like to break this illusion.
As soon as you guys are about more than 15 feet away, it begins chewing on the bone again.
Okay, it's just very protective. Okay.
Either way, a human has died, so we should probably move on quickly now. Now that we've ensured no children will be getting lured into the forest.
You're 100% right, yes. We should
Yeah.
this. Okay. Well done. Good initiative, Diana.
Good initiative.
I didn't even think of doing that, and I really should have, so thank you.
There we go. Yeah, I can show this to you now.
Ooh.
And smiles at the compliment.
It kind of looks adorable, I'm not going to lie. This would be an amazing pet.
Can you post it to the Discord?
Oh,
Yeah. 1 sec.
Wow, this thing is.
It's something.
Yikes.
It's something, all right.
I'll post it this. Oh,
There we go.
no, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Oh, damn, that's,
He's a
that's
cute
something,
boy.
all right.
are those like needles out of its teeth?
I think it's just a broken femur.
Yeah, and then it's broken feet.
Oh, okay.
Kind of shards like that.
So it does not follow you. It just turns back to its bone and continues crunching. And as you return to the road, you begin seeing there are other eyes in the underbrush. So it might be a good thing that you did not choose to attack this thing. It doesn't look like it was alone.
Yep. Goddamn.
That is all right. And I assume we continue on our way?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Another low one.
Same roll.
Damn. So Ireena, this time you are going to find something. I would like you to roll a d100 for me, please.
Sure. I will now roll AB 100. When roll 20s
When it
does not land
unfucks
anymore,
itself?
please. Yeah, exactly. Roll 20 on my PCs, and it has been acting up for a bit.
I can roll it for
Yeah.
you. It's not a big deal.
Oh no, okay, no. It's finally
Hey, there we go.
93.
93. So you find a book in the underbrush as well. Only this
Ooh.
one, there's no label on the spine. You are head of the party, or are you trailing the party?
I'm the head of the board.
Head of the party? Yeah. So I think you and Ismark may be spotted at the same time, and he's going to nudge you and point it and see. I think that's a book.
She will nod and kind of pick it up and like turn it around, look at it,
Yeah.
open it.
There's
read
no
for
label.
a couple of pages.
The inside is written in Elvish script. It's handwritten. It seems to be a journal of some kind, but large sections have been scratched out, and there are pages that have been torn. And it's very dirty and very old.
Can I maybe like open it in a random page and look what's there, like if there's anything written? At
Yeah.
least like what's the person.
Yeah,
wrote
absolutely.
it.
You don't find the person who wrote its name, but you do come to a passage that is talking about a tragedy in this person's life. Apparently, this person had a sister named Patrina, and Patrina fell in love with Strahd von Zarevich and was planned to be wed to Strahd, but the people that they lived with didn't particularly like this, and so they caught her one of these nights when she was going up to visit Strahd in his castle, and they stoned her to death. And apparently Strahd was so angry that he sent his most loyal servant to wipe them out.
What the fuck?
I will refer this party as I'll say it. So it says something about a lover, Strahd, who had been in theory, killed for, for for being Strahd's lover, and because of that, he sent some kind of servant to avenge her.
That is very messed up.
Does it mention anything about what the servant looked like?
It doesn't mention anybody in particular. It is in Elven, and you can tell based on the hand that it's either somebody that wasn't educated very well or it was a child's hand.
Well, but at least we know that it might have been someone of elven origins, and probably a child or someone who just learned how to write.
Redmond, I think this might have something to do
Yeah.
with the I received.
I give Diana a look like, yeah. Yes, I nod.
Mm-hmm.
Would you mind if I held on to the book, Ireena? I think that if we find the author, it could be very useful for us, or for me.
Yes.
You could decipher its pages? I say quizzically at Diana.
Yeah. Does wait, was Ireena not just reading it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really.
It's written in Elvish, so both of you should be able. Both of you speak Elvish, I believe.
Yeah.
Does it go beyond that? Beyond the event?
Yeah, there's bits and pieces more. They dictate the afterfall. There was a plague, apparently, that ripped through this village. 5 out of every 10 people that lived in this village died of this plague. And they mention a culling where Strahd's servant came and killed all of the adult women.
What the fuck?
He talks about this Strahd's servant hurting him, wounding him. But like I said, it's a very dirty. Lots of the details are gone, but you can glean this information from it. It seems like it's a couple 100 years old, and it's been sitting in the dirt here for quite a while.
It's a long time for a book to survive in the dirt.
Well, it wasn't necessarily in the dirt this long, but it's been worried over for a long time, and there are sections that have been crossed out with new notes written over top of them, all in the same hand.
Diana, it sounds like exactly what you described. Exactly.
Yeah, I think the author of this book is
the one we need to find.
It looks old, but he should still be alive somewhere, probably, and I don't know.
Wait, elves live that long?
1,000? Oh, sorry. Elves live hundreds of years.
Some
Wait,
races are longer lived than others.
how old do you think I am?
I just thought you were a bit younger than me. You know? I just, new to the world. This is.
I'm new to this world.
Let's see.
I mean the surface. This world we're all equally new to.
Oh, this has been embarrassing then. Oh boy. How old are you really?
I'm 106.
106? What? When are you going to start giving me tips on how to live life? Oh boy.
Ismark's
Am I near
gonna.
enough to hear this conversation?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, and I'm over 1,000.
You're 1,000?
At least. I don't know, it's hard to keep track of time in the Feywild.
Ismark is gonna pat you on the shoulder, Red, and he's gonna say, "Personally, I think the demonic Hell Knight is doing good for you."
Thank you. At least it hides my wrinkles. Oh boy, I've got.
Maybe you should listen to your elders.
I am definitely comfortable with this age dynamic we all have.
And the best part is Volk is currently shape changed into the pup, which means they're an 11-year-old kid.
This makes me wildly uncomfortable.
Ireena's gonna pick up and she's gonna say, "What's the matter? You don't like older women?"
I all that advice I gave you, Diana. Now I feel so wrong.
No, the advice was still helpful. They don't do like moral philosophy in the Underdark.
They don't. What do they teach you in the Underdark?
It's more just like you better keep these.
Are you cut out?
Well, the
Cut
bottom.
out.
The bottom.
You're told.
The store is dead.
Oh no!
Oh,
Oh,
fuck! No,
you're back.
okay. My thumb keeps slipping. Push to talk button. Where did I cut out?
You gotta keep.
They
something.
don't teach you philosophy in the Underdark, I think is where you cut off.
What do they teach
I'm
you?
just
And you
gonna
said
check
you gotta
that.
keep something.
Has your thumb slipped again?
Yeah, I'm just gonna turn it off at this point.
Okay.
Push to talk is great until it isn't.
Push to talk.
Yep.
Great.
This is why you stick with it, and it becomes instinctive that anytime you're talking in public, you instinctively press for a keyboard somewhere.
It's not even that, it's just that because it's a touch screen, my thumb can move around. If it was a keyboard, it'd be fine.
Oh, I see.
Touchscreens are the death of progress.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, anyway, yeah, they don't really teach moral philosophy in the dark. It's more like, if you don't keep a dagger on you, or you don't keep these two guard dogs, someone's going to come and assassinate you for political reasons. And that's the extent of life, really.
I understand, actually. This was a lot like my childhood, just not the political reasons. I didn't think we'd be that alike, actually. I mean, in that regard, I think we are two wonderful human beings. I mean, people.
Just keep digging that hole, buddy.
Sorry, I'm incredibly flustered by the, age gap, and I'm gonna just be quiet a bit and just think. Sorry, thumbs up. If not just my eyes are red, as my whole cheeks are now blushing with embarrassment.
Benefit of that animated armor. You can't tell.
Exactly.
Well, that's all well and good. We continue on our way. And there we go. So the trail starts to snake back on itself, and you can hear the river running off to your right. And you come across another clearing in the woods, and you can see the river is rushing by on your right-hand side. And sitting on the river's edge is a post that's been driven into the ground. It's got a flat, squished top, like it's been hammered down with a large sledgehammer. And there's a broken rope dangling from it that looks like it may have held a boat at one point, like a little rowboat. However, the most interesting thing about this is there's a human skull sitting on top of this, what would you call it, a dock post.
Yeah.
And
There's
sitting
always a
on
human
top
skull.
of that human skull is a raven. And this raven is preening itself, plucking at its feathers, and it looks up and it ruffles its feathers and it looks rather surprised that it sees you guys, and it embarrassingly sort of shuffles its feathers back down and tries to smooth itself over and look as dignified as it can be.
Oh wait, Raven. I'm sorry. I'm very, 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 very sorry for what I did to you, to your friend, at the beginning. I didn't mean to. I didn't know. There must be some way I can make amends. I'm saying this now because otherwise we're going to get fucked by
All
this
right.
game. I feel like it.
The raven doesn't particularly respond to you.
Yes.
You can roll an insight to try to read it, or you can approach and try to talk to it. It's entirely up to you.
I will blindly, very stupidly approach and try to talk to it. Volk, please do help me. Please,
Volk is going to step up beside Red, and they are going to. They will be the the black cat, I think.
Okay.
So like in front of this raven, just like the body grows, and like a nice little bow, you know, and I am going to try to see if there's any. There's clearly something different about this raven. It's not a regular raven.
Why don't you roll an insight? Why don't you roll an insight?
I think I can tell that just by the way that it responded to us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could.
I mean,
you know that ravens are very intelligent. You know that
This is
ravens are
true.
really good problem solvers. You've been a raven, so I mean, it's something you're familiar with. They're pretty sharp-witted.
Yep.
So this just could be a raven that's particularly concerned with its image. It does seem to be trying to present itself as a pristine postcard type of raven. Picturesque, if you will.
Picturesque.
I will look at Redmond and I will say, it seems fine.
Yeah.
I don't see anything.
Um.
It's a raven.
Okay. I'll look at the raven and says, well, just in case, I'm just gonna take some.
There you are.
Rations out. I'm gonna take some rations out and I'm gonna give some of that to the raven.
It's gonna. You just gonna lay it on the ground, or are you gonna hold it out to it?
I'll try and hold out first, and then if it doesn't accept, I'll lay it on the ground.
Okay. Yeah, you can hold it out. It looks at your hand and it sniffs. I don't know if ravens actually sniff, but it looks at the food in your hand, and it looks maybe a little insulted, and then it just continues standing there, looking off over the water, pointedly ignoring you. You can see that under one of its feet, there's a glint of metal. It looks like it's holding a jewel of some sort, or a jeweled ring of some sort.
I'm not going to mess with this raven. I'm not going to steal its jewels. So I instead give it. Oh boy. I don't have anything shiny to give it, unfortunately. So
You have money, don't you?
I do.
And
have money.
you did find a bunch of gems in the death house.
Oh yes, but it's in the party loot, right?
Yes, should be.
Okay.
I don't know if
I
we were
will-
using it yet.
Yeah, it's not been added to the party loot, but yeah, okay.
I have 3 moss agate gemstones.
Yes, can I grab one of those, please?
Yeah, I'll pull it out of my pocket
Thank you. You're the
and
best.
hand it to you.
And then I'll, offer it to the raven.
Yeah. So which gemstone is it in particular?
It's a moss agate.
The moss agate?
gemstone.
Yeah. So it's gonna look at the gem, and it's gonna look at you, and it's gonna caw. I can't do a raven's caw, but it's gonna caw, and then it's going to lift its leg, and it's gonna toss this ring at the ground in front of you, and it will flutter over and pick up the gem from your hand, fly back to its skull, and it will hold the gem in one claw, and it will peck at it with its beak, and the jeweled ring is now on the ground in front of you.
Oh, thank you, Raven. And I'll bow and I'll take the ring and I'll hand it over to Riley. All yours. Is it like a shiny ring? Is it shiny?
It is. It is very clean. It is very shiny.
Then it's all yours, Riley.
Cool. Found raven noises. Because I'm that kind of weirdo.
Yeah.
I will take the ring and at it.
Okay.
Pocket it.
All right.
I'll take a closer look at this later.
Yeah.
Fun, shiny
let's
ring.
see.
Any
I will-
descriptions about it?
I'm trying to find that right now. I'm getting ads on every page I go to.
Oh no.
Figures.
Ad block?
Yeah, so it is a gold ring with a light blue gemstone set in it. And the blue gemstone has some swirly white mist patterns in it. It is clearly some kind of maybe an opal, a particularly blue opal.
Right.
Okay, that's pretty cool. That is very cool, right?
And it clearly has some sort of enchantment on it because it
yeah,
is
it's clearly
particularly
magical as
clean.
fuck. Yes. You got a magic item, Riley. Holy shit, let's go.
Neat.
Let's go.
We'll probably have to find a way to identify it, though, right?
Do you have identify spell? At all?
None of us have it yet.
None of us have
Yet.
Yet.
Beautiful.
I'm not sure if I even have the capability of learning it.
I think druids have, but well, are you? Well,
You should,
you're a
yeah.
druid?
As a druid,
You
you
should
should get
have-
identified.
You should have all
Okay.
spells. You just prepare them. If I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
no, I don't know if it's a druid spell.
It should be.
Well-
It's a bard and a wizard
Bard,
spell.
wizard,
Oh, okay.
artificer, knowledge domain, forge domain, so it doesn't look like I
Okay.
can learn it.
You guys do still have a wizard spell book, which is written in Draconic. I would allow you to try to cast a wizard spell. I'm not the biggest fan of the spell list being crossed over. Like, I get divine spells not being available to arcane casters, but druids are basically arcane casters,
Yes!
more or
Druids
less.
are a bit of a middle ground, yeah.
Yeah. So, we'll deal with that when we come to it. Volk,
Okay.
you are happily examining this ring, I imagine, as we go a little further down the trail. And by this point, we're about 2 p.m. So the sun has passed its zenith, such as it is. And we come to a fork in the road. One bit of the path goes left, one bit of the path goes right. But that is not the most interesting thing about this fork in the road. In the center of this fork, directly across from you guys up ahead, an old wooden gallows stands, creaking in a chill wind that blows down from the high ground to the
Yeah.
west. A frayed length of rope dances from this gallows. The well-worn road splits here, and a signpost opposite the gallows points off in 3 directions. The signpost pointing back the way you've come says Barovia Village. The one to the northwest, which goes to your right, says the Sare Pool. And the one to the left says Ravenloft/Valaki. Now, you may remember that I believe it was the proprietors of the Blood of the Vine. They recommended you take the right-hand path and visit the Vistani encampment at the Sare Pool. So the one to your right isn't paved. It turns into dirt. And the path to your right is well paved with lots of wagon wheel ruts. And the one to the southwest starts going upwards. And across from the gallows, on either side of the road, are low walls, beyond which there are dozens upon dozens of gravestones. They're very old. Most of the words look faded from here. And fog just clings to everything. So, what's the decision, folks? Are we going straight to Valaki, or do we want to take a pit stop?
I feel like adventure calls for pit stop, my gang.
I'm
Turning
sure visiting.
to Ireena and Ismar. Do you know what's down that road?
Ireena shrugs. She says, "I've never been outside of the village of Barovia." Ismark says,
Ismark?
I don't particularly trust Vistani, but it's going to start getting dark soon. I don't know how far we are. It might be worth it just to see if we can get some shelter."
Yeah, from what I've
I
seen of
agree with that.
Estonia, they're quite resourceful. Those 3 under their own 7. They might be able to offer us some weapons capable of damaging the creatures around her better. Maybe some silvered weapons.
Yeah.
Alright.
I think it's a good idea to take a rest stop wherever this is.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So you folks take the turn down the right-hand path. Volk, you're taking up close to the rear, right?
Yeah, I'm closer to the back than the
Yeah.
front.
Well, those of you in the back of the party, you hear a creaking. It sounds like wood creaking, and as you turn back around, there is now a body hanging from the gallows.
Ah!
What?
And as it swings slowly in the breeze, this body is spun around, and its cold, dead eyes become fixed on you, Volk, and you see yourself hanging from these gallows. One of your many faces.
Sick.
That's weird. It's not my natural form.
It's one of your faces. We'll say it's the pup.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah.
That's disconcerting. Don't like that.
What?
And I'm gonna turn
Downwards.
away, and I'm gonna just keep walking along the road. I'm like, I don't want to think about that.
All right. Anyone else want to do anything?
No, nothing from my part.
Diana will just shiver and is like,
Okay.
something's following us and making things a lot like us, I suppose. Redmond, that doll you handed me before, for a moment I thought it kind of looked like me.
Oh, I am so sorry. I didn't think things would be like that. Is it bad?
It's okay, it's not your fault, but I'm just thinking, are we being followed by a hag or something that's using illusions to cause dead bodies and strange dolls to look like us? Some form of like psychological warfare?
I think that it could be a possibility in this very strange land, but you know what? Even if that is happening, I think we won't fall for it, friends. I think we are so strong that we can overcome it, even if some hag is following us from psychological warfare, because we have each other. So if anyone sees something like this happening, you're not alone. Talk to us. Just talk about it. We'll laugh about it. I mean, how silly is that? Some hag with all their magic just thinks it's so scary to just put someone's face in something else. Like, I mean, why not just get a mirror, right? Right, friends.
I'm all for it. I mean, what's the worst they're going to do? Kill us?
Exactly.
They can do far worse than that.
I'm sure they can, but you know what? They can't, because as we saw when we fought that hag, when we are together, we are strong. And so as long as we stay together and remember to talk to each other, we are undefeatable.
Yeah.
Talk does a whole lot of good when you don't listen to him. Volk says that under their breath.
I'm straight you say it under that breath, because I will fight you.
I will fight you, small cats.
I'll find you, small cat.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Volk's trust in Red is somewhat eroded.
Well, I'm really trying my hardest here. I'm not gonna lie. to not erode trust.
So,
Okay. Yes.
you're able to continue on your way. The trail goes quite a ways before snaking. It's pushing 7 o'clock by the time you start to see lights up ahead. And you can hear the sound of gently lapping water. And you hear the sound of music. And breaking through the trees as the road gradually disappears, there's a canopy of mist and branches suddenly giving way to black clouds roiling far above. There's a clearing here next to a river that widens to form a small lake several hundred feet across. 5 colorful round tents, about 10 feet in diameter each, are pitched outside a ring of 4 barrel-topped wagons. A much larger tent stands near the shore of the lake. its sagging form lit from within, and its top is billowing brightly colored smoke. Near this tent, 8 unbridled horses drink from the river. The mournful strains of an accordion clash with the singing of several brightly clad figures dancing around a fire. A footpath continues beyond the encampment, meandering north between the river and the forest edge. And Ismark groans under his breath. Ugh, Vistani.
Bastani, it's good to see some friendly faces. Come on. Doesn't matter whose faces they belong to, it's as long as they're friendly, that's all that matters, right?
Yeah, Ireena's gonna elbow her brother in the stomach and say, "Come on, Ismark, cheer up."
What do you have against Vistani?
They're frivolous and they're scammers and they don't care about anything but coin. I mean, Barovians aren't much better, but the Vistani, there's always something uncomfortable about them. Like they would sell
They're
your
not
soul
you,
to the
so
devil.
you dislike them.
No, it's nothing like that. I get the feeling they would sell me to the devil if it would bring them profit.
Well, you won't be sold off as long as we're here, I promise you that. But maybe try and fight that feeling, right?
I suppose.
You know what? Let's try some exposure therapy. I don't know what therapy is because I am medieval. Let's try. Let's try facing your. Let's try facing your fear. Why don't we go say hello?
Alright. I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
That's the spirit, Ismark, and I'll just tap him on the back.
Rory, I imagine, has been, what's the word? Leaning into him about the racism.
Yeah.
So he's a little sheepish about it now. Scared of those tiefling teeth.
Yes, and lack of a reply.
Ireena, on the other hand, looks very excited. She's like, I've never seen anything like this. I've never been outside the village. This is so exciting. No one's going to know who I am. I've never been somewhere where nobody knows who I am. This will be so nice. Everyone hated me back home.
Baby.
I'll be like, well, the place where you're stranger could be the place where you're most accepted. Come, and I'll kind of like offer my arm, or I don't know, like a hand, and say, let's go be merry, everyone. And I'll turn to the party. We deserve to be
roll it into the Vistani camp.
We deserve to be happy in this strange place.
Yeah. So you're able to approach. As soon as somebody spots you, a cry goes up. Hey, 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 from the people, and they wave to you. And a large, heavy-set man with many rings and earpieces and some many scarves wrapped around him comes out and he says, "Greetings, greetings! Welcome to the Sarapul encampment. How can I help you today, dear friends?"
Hello! I'll go in for a hug at this point.
He will return the hug, and he will say, "What strange travelers to see on the road! Would you be needing shelter here? There's nothing nearby enough to get to before nightfall."
That
would be appreciated.
Yes. What the strange child said. No, sorry, I'm shit.
Welcome. You have a place around our fire.
Right now.
You're what by now? Sorry.
You have a place around our
fire.
fire.
Right now.
Sorry.
We're speaking over each other.
Sorry.
Sorry, Spencer.
No, it's okay. I should let you talk
cat
more.
right now. We're going to go to the fire.
Okay. He is very excited to hear this. And he says, "Come, tell us our stories. Tell you where you came from. We have many stories to share as well. Come, drink, eat, be merry."
I would absolutely love this.
And if you're interested in doing business, we have plenty to trade.
Wonderful. Yes, I've had such pleasant encounters with the people. When we first came here, they were so hospitable. And I'll name drop their names.
Yep. That was Arabelle, Sorvia, Mirakel, something like that. Yeah, the three sisters.
Alenka, Mirabelle, and Sorvia.
Thank you. Alenka, Mirabelle, and Sorvia. He says, "Oh yes, we recognize them, dear sisters all. They're from. Which camp are they from? Or which caravan are they from?" He says they are from
It's so hard to remember your notes and you're not the one writing them down in the first place.
Mm-hmm. I don't even remember them when I write them down. Oh, you know what? There is no table for Vistani names, so I'm just gonna pick a Slavic-sounding one.
Marvelous. I mean, Vistani are based on Romani gypsy names, right?
Yes. Constantinovia.
Lovely.
They're from the Constantinovia caravan. Very good people, very good people. We don't have any of their members here today. We have 5 different families here, and he introduces them, and there's a very long list of names, none of which you remember, especially because they start just handing you mugs and mugs of ale. It's serviceable. It's not great. Okay, you don't have to drink, but they rightly encourage you, and they will pass around. They have a bounty of various fishes that they've been roasting over this fire. There's music and dancing. Much carousing.
I'll just add a couple herbs to the ale, then take a swig.
There you go. Like I said, it's serviceable. It's not amazing, but it'll get you there.
It'll get you to the destination, right?
Yeah.
I'll say, how have you been? To set up such a place over here, it sounds terrifying in the strange land.
It is not so bad once you get used to it. I mean, we have the protection of our dear Madam Ava. Nothing will bother us.
Madam Ava, is that the name of the individual who's given protection by Strahd long ago?
Oh, you have heard about this? Yes, I suppose the sisters would have told you this.
They
yes,
did. It was
long
wonderful.
ago it is said, one of our caravans rescued Prince Strahd von Zarevich when he was wounded on the battlefield. This was back when he was immortal, you see. He was terribly wounded and dying and in desperate need. And this Vistani caravan, they extended a hand of kindness. They gave him bread, food, and medical aid, just as we are doing here. And they rescued him, and in return he vowed to always let them be free in his lands, that they would always be free to come and go. And that vow he kept, even as he descended into that regrettable state he is in now.
Yes, I have heard.
But he is a fair ruler. He is lawful. Not particularly kind, but he keeps his word.
I suppose, but this is not the place for such conversations, I'm sure.
I'm sure it is not.
I've only heard good things about your people, honestly, and thank you again for welcoming us here. I must say though, when we first encountered your sisters, or the dear sisters, they tried to scam my friend.
Oh, that old game. Oh, you know, it's just a prank we like to play. You know, we need to survive when we go place to place, and some people need hope, and the hope of being safe in the mists. It's enough to make anybody feel a little braver.
True. I just dare hope that no one received hope and went to the mist because of said hope. You know, that would be glittery. So I will pretend that has never happened.
Yeah, he seems completely unfazed, and he's just still smiling. And he says, "I am sure no one has ever befallen such a fate."
I fucking hate this guy. Do you have any food and things like this?
Certainly. What? You don't like drink? Are you a monk or something?
Some people say that nowadays, but it's just some drinks don't sit well with me, especially after traveling. In my old age, it tends to come straight back up.
That's fair. You know, I've been getting some of those palpitations myself. They just eat more red meat and you'll be fine.
That's not okay. Yes, maybe I should try that. I mean, the solution is always eating more meat, right?
Generally, yes.
Do you have such red meat for us?
Oh, why we have some hind of deer we found in the woods. It's hard to find deer around here. The wolves tend to take them out. But we have one. It will cost you something. We can't freely give away our best stuff.
Well, of course, I said I'd pay for it. Of course.
All right, 2 silver it is, and I will give you the choicest cut of this hind.
I will smile at him, but a.
Would you like any help in the kitchen?
Well, I think you've had a minute to charm him, and I think since he is charmable, he'll drop it down to 1 silver.
Thank you. You're the best. Thank you, Spencer, for allowing me to, use this often.
No worries.
Yeah, so 1 silver. And is that for everyone or just individual?
Well, he's going to give you a generous hunk of hind, so it'll probably be enough for all of you.
Marvel, I'll
It
pay the
is
silver.
red, it is dripping, it has been sitting over this fire for God knows how long. It is most delicious.
Oh my lord. Bon appetit, friends.
In the meantime, y'all can have many different conversations. And quickly the time gets away from you, and it starts getting dark. And those of you who are imbibing alcohol, I would like a Constitution saving throw.
I had like half a mug.
Fair enough. They are very fond of peer pressure.
And still, I cannot handle my beer, apparently.
They're very fond of peer pressure. So if you are the type to respond to peer pressure. Oh, damn.
Oh damn.
Oh my god.
Could you make me a con save, please?
Oh, yes, sorry. Diana, con save. I forgot you don't have your character sheet.
I had half a mug.
I
rolled a
imagine
4.
Rory is probably smashed. That seems, so that's a 13. So, Diana, you're actually fine. Let's get 1 for Ireena and 1 for Ismark. Ismark is a little suspicious at first, but he begins drinking right away. It doesn't take much insight to see that maybe Ismark has used drink to deal with some of his traumatic experiences. Ireena drinks a little less freely, but she does partake. So let's get a con for Ismark and a con for Ireena. Yeah, so Ismark is out. Within an hour, Ismark has drunk probably a whole cask of ale and a bit of wine and is passed out next to a fire. There's a couple Vistani that are snoring next to him. Ireena's doing fine. She's buzzed and she's hanging around and she's talking and joking with all of you, having a grand old time. Volk and Ilena, you are buzzed. You don't have to be asleep if you don't want to be, but you're going to be poisoned for the remainder of the night until you take a long rest.
That's lovely.
Like
feel like
under the
with
poison
that
condition
roll-
because you're drunk.
With that roll, like, Volk had like half a mug and then barfed, and it's just feeling
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
Alina
what does
is
poison do?
Alina is sleeping. Why not? Alina will be sleeping for the night. Just
Okay,
passed
so
out.
disadvantage.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, Ismark went to drink on his own right away. But if he saw that you were drinking as well, he would probably have drunk with you. So I don't know. If
Okay.
you'll allow it, maybe you fell asleep back to back, spy movie
Sure.
style, or
Sure.
buddy cop movie style.
Yeah, sure, why not?
That works. So those of you that have not been drinking or are still conscious, you guys can be around the fire when the big stories start to come out.
Ooh, the big stories.
And they will somebody will mention that seeing travelers on the road reminds them of that time that wizard came through, that crazy old wizard. And so they start describing this mad Mordenkainen with his silly hat. He came through about a year ago, stood exactly where you were standing, and he was all set. He was gonna walk right up to the castle. He was gonna knock down the door. He was gonna walk up to Strahd von Zarevich right in his face and tell him to go stuff it up his butt. But of course, it didn't turn out very well. Wasn't very long before all those poor peasants died, and they can remember that not too far from here, there is a waterfall up the river. And the wizard actually fought Strahd. He ran away from Strahd. Strahd chased him down the winding Svolok road, and they had a fight at the tippy top of that waterfall. And the mad mage Mordenkainen actually tipped over the edge and fell to his death, though nobody was able to find his body. So
Interesting.
Thank you. Such a wonderful story. And I mean, I cannot dare top it, but I thought as guests I might as well share from another place? I mean, you've all been to Waterdeep, I assume, right?
Oh, certainly, and many of them have, and they talk about the City of Splendors and how great it is, and how they've never seen a city more beautiful.
Well, this will be a story. It's not about the splendor of the city, but its vicious underbelly. A dark place for a young urchin boy. And then I'll tell a story about, like this heroic heist that wasn't probably heroic when it actually happened, and it's full of twists and turns, heartbreak, fear, death, even. I'll do my best.
And a cunning drow pirate, and a wicked beholder, and a family of demon worshippers, and a cunning wizard that runs a band of mercenaries. A dragon heist, if you will. Yeah, you tell this story. Let's get a performance check.
Oh boy. Performance.
I will give you advantage because you are not drunk and everyone else is.
Marvelous. 18.
Hot damn!
Let's go.
Hot damn! Yeah, so you didn't even need the advantage. It was 18 either way. So they love this story. They're like, we need to write this down in a book. We need to sell this. They love it, and
Isn't
yeah.
that a camp?
Yeah, it is.
Dragon Heist, Waterdeep Dragon Heist. That's a campaign book, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so they are loving this, and they will tell you, they will pat you on the back and they'll say, "You're a great storyteller. You should be a bard. There's a bard in you somewhere. You must have a bard in your ancestry." And they're going to tell you, you should talk to Madam Ava. Madam Ava in the morning. Yes, you should have your fortune read by Madam Ava.
You think I should?
Absolutely.
I
Madam Ava would love to meet you.
Do you know how, like, when you're not drunk, but you're around a lot of drunk people, and you kind of get this, like, semi-empathetic drunk? You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's Red right now. That's Redmond right now, and he's like around us. Yeah, marvelous. Oh, you are such wonderful hosts. Wonderful hosts. The story is only as good as its crowd, of course. I'll just listen, and that's
everybody is charmed. Everybody's having a great old time. And you can go to bed, spend the night.
Yeah.
You all have the benefits of a long rest. When you wake up, if you were poisoned, you are no longer poisoned because the alcohol comes out of your system. You are A-okay.
Yeah.
But the alcohol was already out of my system, but I was just nauseous.
Did you say A-okay?
Hey.
Got it.
Okay.
Yes.
So Redmond and Diana, I'll do it for you, Diana. I'm going to need you guys to make a wisdom perception check.
They're
Real
stealing
quick.
our shit.
Maybe.
I feel like we'd kind of expect them to steal our shit, but I don't know if that'd be metagaming.
I'm a cat while I sleep, by the
Okay,
way.
Diana, you rolled a 5.
Can I use my inspiration here?
You can use your inspiration. Oh, also, by the way, I think you were here for this, Diana. I love all of your role-playing so much, and I feel so anxious leaving people out, so every game we start off with 1 inspiration each. For free.
Good, right?
That is good. You guys don't notice anything missing.
Fuck!
Meta?
Yes.
Oh, by the way, Ileena and Volk, you guys can both make the roll at disadvantage because you were passed out.
I was a cat while I was asleep, so I had nothing to be stolen.
Is that how it
That's
works?
fair.
No one can access my inventory if I'm a cat.
Yeah, it's all part of her.
Where does that's so weird. That's cool as fuck, but that's so weird.
Mhm.
I love it. I can become items. Yeah, okay. Out of character, what do we miss? Just so I can...
Yeah.
look up, actually.
Okay. So, Ileena and Diana were attempted to be pickpocketed. So, Diana, you did not catch it. So, I'm going to say they took 5 gold off of your person.
Oh no.
Okay.
And what was your perception check, Ileena?
I did not make it. Wait a second. Here you go. 9.
Oh no, you
Okay.
do a disadvantage, right?
Disadvantage.
Oh well, even worse. Well, 9.
Yeah, so they also took 5 gold off of you. So they only had...
Okay.
Oh, Ileena and Diana were both attempted to be pickpocketed. Neither of you noticed it happening. So, we the players know you're 5 gold down, but you guys don't notice it yet.
Do they not pick up pocket everyone? They just pick up pocket some
No.
people?
I rolled percentile dice for each of you, and those of you that were above 75% on the percentile dice were attempted to be pickpocketed.
Damn.
And it's not because they're Vistani.
I was a cat.
It's because they were very drunk.
Oh, yeah,
It's not racist.
It's not racist.
They're
yeah,
just bad
of
people
course.
because.
Marvelous.
Yeah, so you wake up in the morning. All of you can remember being strongly recommended that you should go see Madame Ava. Madame Ava loves to meet visitors.
Yes. Mad Mava, but let's
I
not call
guess
her
we
Mad.
should go see this Ava lady.
Is it Mava or Ava?
Madame Ava, EVA.
Mad Mava. Mad Ava. For some reason, I thought she was Mad Mava, and I don't know why that crossed my mind in my head.
Madam
I
Ava.
thought it was Mad Maver as well.
Yeah.
My apologies. I will try to enunciate more clearly.
Okay. Let's see Mad. Let's see Mad Mava.
Yes, so Madame Ava. Everybody has pointed her out. She is in the very large tent that is next to the pool. There was a fire of varying fanciful colors in there all night. Now, first thing in the morning, it's just a regular fire, and there's a regular amount of smoke coming out of the top. But yep, you're all able to enter the tent. Ismark is hungover and is asleep. Ireena is up and chipper and ready to go. She is excited. She's never talked to a fortune teller before.
Heck yeah. Oh, this is going to be so great. We have a fortune telling session. We're going to get some bad omens. This is going to be great. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're trumping up to Madame Ava.
So, yeah.
Whereabouts is she again?
So there is a large semi-permanent tent set up right next to the water. Inside is a bonfire-sized fire, you would guess from the outside. That's been burning pretty much constantly since you got here. The tent flaps are closed, but all of the Vistani told you that you just need to walk up, stomp on the entry mat, and she will let you know when you can come in.
Dope, I'll do exactly that then.
All right. Everybody's going in, I assume? Except Ismark, who's
Yep.
hungover.
I'm holding it back a little, so I'll be the last one to enter, but I will go in.
Okay.
I'll go in after Redmond, why not?
Yeah, so Redmond, you stomp on the entry mat. And you hear a voice say, come in, Redmond, I have been expecting you. All of you come in.
Oh, we all come in. I say to the party, come in. She's expecting us, apparently. It's not creepy at all.
At last you have arrived. You hear from within.
Madam Ava, you look so wonderful.
Yeah, I will describe to you what you see, as well as share a picture of
Ooh,
Ava.
picture. So youthful.
If somebody would post it in the chat as well for Diana.
Yeah, sure.
Not Diana,
I'll
Astora.
take a look.
M. Where is she? There she is. Boom.
Oh my lord.
Yes. So as you enter, you see that the flame burning in the center of this tent casts everything in a reddish glow. There's a low table covered with black velvet cloth. There are glints of light flashing over everything like fireflies as the fire is refracted through a crystal ball that is sitting in the center of this table. You see an old woman sitting across from you at this table. She has a large deck of very large cards splayed out in front of her. This old lady is just peerlessly ancient. but she does not look hag-like. She does not look quite as horrendous as Morgantha, the hag you met in the village of Barovia. She has a red scarf draped around her face, jewelry everywhere, and one eye is completely covered up in a cataract.
Oh.
Yeah, and as you come in, she says, "At last you have arrived.
Yes, you were expecting us?
I have been expecting you for days."
Days. Then I'm sorry to have tarried. You look wonderful, so youthful, so full of life.
You as well, Redmond. I can see that armor does you well.
Thank you. Yes,
Those eyes staring at me.
I hope they give a friendly message. I mean, I'm sure you already know that, what I'm thinking right now.
Oh, dearie, it's not me. All I know is what the cards show me. I knew you were
what-
coming. I know a little bit about you, but I can't read your mind. I'm not magic.
Oh, well, you could definitely fool me. And what do the cards tell you about us? Could we get a
Many
fortune?
things, many things. I must ask you first. What would you like to get out of this land, this Barovia? What is your purpose at this point?
Are
I'm
you saying this?
expected to leave,
I-
isn't
I-
it?
Well, I really have no purpose. Just to eventually leave at some point, maybe, and spread a few smiles wherever I go, improve a few lives. Yes, I think maybe that's the selfish purpose. To selfishly jump into another person's life and lift it up a bit, even for a short while.
Improving lives will be difficult, you will find. Barovia has a tendency to fold back on itself. Time doesn't work quite right here, you see. Faces, they come back time and time again. We of Barovia have old souls, and we tend to old tracks. You would understand, Ireena. Ireena
Did you
looks
say
very confused.
Ireena?
Ireena. Sorry,
Oh,
Ireena.
okay.
Ireena is very confused.
Where is it?
Sorry, what was that, Astora?
I was just saying, what is all this about Ireena? The hag before mentioned her as well.
Ireena is wanted by the devil. The Dark Lord has his eyes on her. He reminds her. She reminds him of someone he knew once, long ago, who he desperately desires to have again. Sorry.
Go ahead. Sorry. No, you first.
Ireena is going to respond. Talking to myself is difficult. Ireena will respond and she will say, Whatever do you mean? Do you know about my face?" And Ava smiles. And you can see she has a gold tooth featured prominently as one of her front teeth. And she says, "I know of you, child. I know the lengths you went to gain that face of yours. I know it is yours. But I also know that the devil recognizes it. And he wants it for himself. For his everlasting possession."
That doesn't sound very good. That sounds a very... I was about to say not cash money there, but that doesn't sound very healthy in any way whatsoever. That's awful.
Such is the domain of powerful men.
Well, powerful men could get fucked.
You won't hear any complaints from me.
I mean, I assume we have similar minds then.
Strahd is a complicated man. He is a very sick man who has led a very dark and twisted life.
You can say that again.
There could be redemption in his future. There could be death in his future. There could be endless torment in his future. The future is as changeable as the mists. I can look ahead and see one thing, I can look ahead a moments later and see something completely different. Of Strahd, I have seen many futures, none of which have yet come to pass.
I see.
As
And
for
what-
you, we could see what the mists have to say.
As for this future for Strahd, what's your favorite?
I would like to see Strahd grow. as a person. Perhaps it is selfish of me, but I would like to see the man overcome his weaknesses. It is difficult for one such as he with his nature, but I don't like to believe anyone is beyond redemption.
Redmond gives out this like massive, I guess it's yellow stained teeth, and there's like a demonic grin,
Yeah.
almost.
But she shrugs and she says, but then again, he has done some truly heinous things. There's a reason they call him the devil.
Yes.
And she looks at Rory with that, and we'll deal with that later. Now, I ask again, what are your intentions here in Barovia? Is it just to escape?
Speak.
Yes, sorry.
So when she asks that, Volk has had like a distant expression on their face, and almost without thinking about it, they say, to purge the corruption.
To purge the corruption. She cracks her knuckles and she has, perhaps I could have a look and see about that. And she's going to shuffle the cards real quick. And she reaches in, picks up half of the deck, puts it under the other half, and then holds it out to you, Volk, to pick out a card.
Volk will look kind of confused for a moment, like they were somewhere else in their brain for a moment there.
That's fair.
They'll shake their head and reach out and pick a card.
All right.
Ooh, I like this background. This
Yeah. So, Diana, not Diana, Astora, I moved us to the card reading page. So everybody's gonna see cool cards. You can have a look
this is exciting.
later.
Okay.
So you pull a card, and she says, "What card is it, dear?"
It says Druid.
Ah, fitting. She
Clever.
says she holds out her hand to have it back.
Yeah, well, hand it back.
Yeah, she takes it. She looks it over. I need to open the right page. Come on. There we go. She says, yes, the 5 of glyphs, the Druid. There is a twisted tree that grows atop a hill of graves. There the ancient dead sleep. The ravens will help you find it. Look to the source, and you will know what to do.
A twisted tree.
And I'll post
I'll
this
do
in
that.
chat later.
Yeah.
It says, and who would like to be next?
Could I volunteer?
All right.
Or did you already do mine? Kind of.
Not really. You were just talking. So she will reach out to you, Redmond. She will do the same thing. Shuffle the deck, cut the deck, and she will hold out the deck to you to draw a card.
Yeah, I will draw a card.
Okay. You draw this card. What is it, dear?
I absolutely love these pictures you have in these cards. It is this Myrmidon.
The Myrmidon. Fitting.
Yeah. Yes?
Redmond, our deeds follow us like ripples in a pond. If you walk in the light of atonement, this card will guide your steps.
Oh, can I take it?
The 5 of swords. No, dear, it's my card.
Sorry, I'm confused by what you said. I'm sorry.
The Myrmidon. Look for a den of wolves in a hill overlooking a mountain lake. There will be a woman there kneeling before a shrine to Mother Night. Listen to her plight.
I see. Thank you, Madam Ava. This is nice. Are you sure I can't keep the card? It's so.
I am sure, dear.
I'll give it back. It says, Madam Ava, I didn't think I said this properly, but thank you.
It is no worries at all. Anyone else? Would you like to look into the coiling mists of the future?
Could you do me?
Diana. Yes. She holds out, she does the same ritual with the cards. She holds it out, and she draws, or you draw, Diana, a card called the Traitor.
Oh shit.
Ooh.
Oh.
Hey, Diana was a traitor to the Drow because she left their society.
Because always stray, yeah.
That might be what it means. What?
No comment. She says, Diana, though this is not your true name, you are watched by silver eyes, and they weep for an ancient pain. This card, the Nine of Glyphs, the Traitor, the Dark Lord's right hand is stained with blood. You will know him by his screams. Look for an elf dwelling among Vistani. He is haunted by dark dreams, but can help you in your quest.
So what was that saying? Elf amongst Vistani?
Elf among Vistani.
Yes, so you are watched by silver eyes. They weep for an ancient sorrow. The Dark Lord's right hand is stained with blood, and you will know him by his screams. You are to look for an elf among the Vistani. He is haunted by dark dreams, but can help you in your quest.
Okay. That first part is very cryptic, but thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh boy.
She says, all I know is what the cards reveal. Ireena.
Yes, I will draw a card.
Yeah, so you draw the Abjurer. She says, you carry heavy burdens, and many of this land know that pain. I see a fallen house guarded by a great stone dragon. A fallen knight lingers there, his memory clouded with regret. Look to the highest peak, and you will understand.
Wait, a house?
Yep, so there is a fallen house guarded by a great stone dragon. A fallen knight lingers there, with his memory crowded with regret. Look to the highest peak, and you will understand.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
She will
I
draw
love
one.
cryptic clues for what
Yeah.
to do.
She will draw
as
one
a-
for Rory as well, and I will give it to you raw and wriggling.
Cool.
In in her absence. It is the Torturer.
Oh.
So she says, Rory, you have family in this land. This card will help you find them, or avoid them if you choose. There is a town where all is not well. There you will find a house of corruption, and within, a locked room filled with still ghosts.
Exciting.
And now, shall we look and see what fates we have in store for your matching wits with the devil himself?
Is that necessary?
Well, you certainly don't have to look into the future, but the devil
Rory
is
got a
no simple foe. He will require great powers to defeat.
I kind of about to say like I don't feel maybe he isn't okay. I looked up to the party. Does anyone look like they're going to accept?
Me.
Okay, then I'll
Yeah, I'll accept it.
Well, you don't have to do what the cards say. This is just advice. Helpful advice if you end up crossing swords with the devil. Or fangs, as the case may be. First,
I will pick a card, any card.
Yep.
God.
she asks you to pick a card. Actually, I can select all of these now. Now that we are off of the freestyle ones, I'm going to
Okay.
need to move these cards off of the table here for a minute. There we go. GM inflow overlay. So, she has each of you draw a card and lay it
Yes.
in a pattern as she displays on the table. So 1, 2, 3,
Oh, that's cool. I like this.
4, and 5. And then she cracks her knuckles, and she closes her eyes, and she flips over the first card. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Classic.
Oops.
First card, Conjurer.
Ooh.
She says, this card tells of history. Knowledge of the ancient will help you better understand your enemy. I see a dead village, drowned by a river, ruled by one who has brought great evil into the world. Look to the kneeling woman, a rose of great beauty plucked too soon. For card number 2, she flips. The monk. This card tells of a powerful force of good and protection, a holy symbol of great hope. I see a place where sickness and madness are bred, where heroes once dwelt. The treasure you seek is hidden behind the sun, in the house of a saint. I
That
did it
sounds like
again.
that sounds like the place we just left.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
This card is of power and strength. It tells of a weapon of vengeance, a sword of sunlight. The bishop. A faceless god watches your steps. He waits for you at the end of a long road. What you seek lies in a pile of treasure beyond the set of amber doors. This card sheds light on one who will help you greatly in the battle against darkness. The Mists. Avistana wanders this land alone, searching for her mentor. She does not stay in one place for long. Seek her out at St. Markovia's Abbey, near the Mists.
Ooh.
Lastly,
Sorry,
Sorry.
go ahead.
yes,
I was going to say, you did say you're going to write this down,
yes,
right?
Yeah.
I'm going to share this in just
Yeah.
a moment. Lastly, your enemy is a creature of darkness whose powers are beyond immortality. This card will lead you to him. I see the Broken One. When lost, you will find him lingering in the tomb of the man he envied above all. And now, lastly, she will look to Ireena, and Ireena will draw a card.
Ooh.
3 of Glyphs, the Healer. Look to the west. Find a pool blessed by the light of a white sun. Then you will know all. Ireena looks at her and she says, it's fairly cryptic. I don't know how that helps me. Ava just smiles. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Is in the Serpool encampment. You can read it over.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Thank you.
In the
Thank
overhead.
you. Ooh, thank
Yeah,
you so much.
so she says, there are many futures laid ahead of you. I cannot tell which you will travel down. I do not tell which will bring success, which will bring failure. All I know is that the future is coming, whether you want it to or not.
Yes, the future is coming. Thank you, Admeva.
She nods.
I-
Any questions?
from Ireena.
What
Okay.
do you wish in this? What do you wish most from Barovia?
You've been talking to her for a while.
Yes, thank you, Spencer. Thank you.
Why don't you make a persuasion check with advantage? Because she's charmed by you and considers you her friend now.
Thank you. Oh, I have. Yeah. $18.
Okay. Her smile falls for a moment, and she says, I have lived a long time. Not in this body. We of Barovia, we of Vistani, we are reborn again and again, our souls recycled into each generation. I alone, because of my seer abilities, I remember every life. And long ago, I was his sister. His half-sister. His father was fond of dalliances with servants. I was the product of one such. He never knew. But I cared about him once. I remember it even though it was centuries ago at this point. I would like to see the man I knew as a child return. I don't believe it is possible. Not truly. But I hope. I hope to see my brother again.
It is often nice to live within the realm of Volk, especially when others are like-minded as well. And you have done us a good turn, Madam Ava. Thank you. I hope in the future I will get a chance to do the same.
I certainly hope I get to see that time. And Redmond, when you do visit the castle, have a look through the tombs. I have a feeling you might find something of particular value to you.
Thank you. I'm going to write this down in my notes because that sounds very important.
Yeah, you got that because you charmed the pants off of her.
Thank you.
Okay. Any more questions?
That's it for me.
That was all I had planned for the session. And we've pretty much come up to the 4-hour mark.
We have, yeah.
Thank you for indulging me with the treadmill running, so that we didn't go too far without Mia. And thank you for the treadmill running last time, so we didn't go too far without Astora. I appreciate your guys' willingness to be distracted.
Will we have everyone next week?
I believe so. I will definitely be here.
I will be back on my computer. We'll have everyone.
Yay!
Heck yeah.
Yay.
This was a wonderful session.
Thank you. I feel like I was a little off, but
yeah.
That's probably just because I'm very sleepy.
Yeah, I was going to say that could be the sleep deprivation talking, right?
I
think you're amazing.
I'm
You're
happy.
amazing.
Any questions, comments, concerns, or anything like that? Feel free to hit me up. As well, we have the thing up for any triggers. If anything comes up, feel free to write it down. And yeah, Riley, you had a question about feats?
Yes, telepathic.
Yes.
Your telepathic utterances are in a language you know. Do I still know Common and the other languages I know when I'm in animal form?
Yeah. You keep your mental stats when you're an animal.
Which means that I can talk to you once we get another level. I can talk to you guys when I'm in animal form.
Yeah. Beast Boy style.
Yeah.
You can fuck with people's minds with that.
This is not going to be good at all.
It's gonna be fun. I mean, it's mostly just so that I can communicate my opinions, even if Volk is in cat form.
Yeah.
Or, you know, in animal form, you know, they spot something and they can telepathically be like, guys, I saw, like, a thing and you might want to be worried about it. You know, without losing a wild shape.
By the way, if you guys did want to do any trading in the Vistani camp, they have all sorts of stuff, and you're welcome to come back to this camp during the campaign if you want to. Whenever you come to the camp, the inventory of the Vistani encampment will be everything that's in the player's handbook equipment, all the mundane equipment in there. You'll be able to find at the player handbook price. In addition, you will be able to roll 3 times on the either magic item table B or the common magic items, minor common magic items in Sanithar's Guide. You can roll 3 times on there, and those magic items will also be for sale, and they'll be at 300 gold apiece.
Holy shit, that is dope.
So they will always be here to trade that unless something dreadful happens to the Cerebral encampment.
How much are silvered arrows?
Silvered arrows, I believe silvering a weapon is 10 gold per piece of ammunition. I'm going to look that up real quick.
10 gold per piece? God.
That's a lot of...
Or maybe it's a gold a piece of ammunition.
I thought it was a gold equivalent.
Maybe it's 10 for 10? Oh, 10 is 100, so it is 10 gold pieces per ammunition. So...
Yes.
Some monsters have immunity to resistance to non-magical weapons that are susceptible to silver ammunition. Blah, 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 blah. You can silver 10 pieces of ammunition for 100 gold. The cost represents not only the price of silver, but the time and expertise needed to add the silver to the ammunition without making it less effective. So you could attempt to do it yourself if you had smith's tools and a day, but you would have to buy the silver ahead of time.
Could we silver our weapons at the camp?
Yep. So
Marvelous.
this, like I said, they have basic smithing tools and other artisan tools here. Specifically, the Vistani specialize in cobblery, leatherworking, jewelry, that sort of thing. But they have enough stuff to do basic weaponsmithing if they need to. So if you pay them for that, they will absolutely allow you, will accept that.
Dope.
How
Okay,
much would it
marvelous.
cost to silver a dagger?
I will Google that as well.
Okay.
For now, I'm going to head off, folks. This was an amazing session. Thank you again, Spencer.
Yeah, no problem.
I look
No
forward
worries.
to next week's. Peace out, folks.
Peace out.
Peace out.
See you guys.
See ya.
Yeah.
Okay, so silvering a weapon is also 100 gold pieces.
Okay. So we're not quite there yet.
Expensive.
Yep.
I will continue to use Flame Blade.
Also,
It
here
works.
you could sell the inventory in the loot.
Oh yeah.
They will give
We
you a
can,
better price.
Look into selling the silver hairbrush with the ivory handle,
Yep.
or just
Or hang on to it.
I
It's up to you.
think at some point I would have during a rest or something used detect magic, and I think detect magic can detect the fact that an item is magical,
Mhm.
even if it can't identify how it's magical. So